Kyler Murray is not going to grow because he drank so much damn coffee. What the hell? At his age, there's nowhere more to go.
Yeah.
He's a grown-ass
man. That's right.
Grown to the level of an ass man, but still a grown-ass. Okay,
that's
fine.
3.
The Daily Blender, weekdays 3 to 6 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 43rd Ryder Cup, sponsored by NHTSA. If the signals are going at a railroad crossing, don't be tempted to try and sneak across the tracks. Ever. Stop. Trains can't. I'm Erica Herskowitz. The United States is leading Europe 3-1 after taking 3 of 4 matches in foursomes this morning. And 4-ball is highlighting the afternoon competition right now. The Americans are leading 3 matches. The Europeans are leading 1. Team USA is ahead in the first group, where Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele are 3 up through 12 on Paul Casey and Bernd Wiesberger. In the second match, Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler are 1 up through 10 on John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. Tony Finau and Harris English are 2 up through 9 against Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry in match 3. And the Europeans are ahead in match 4. Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland are 3 up through 8 on Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay. Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
Yes, 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would you do that? The train still doesn't stop. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. So what's more important? A Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank coffee. You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, of course, now Randy, he's all back to normal after smiling for some keister camera pictures yesterday.
Yeah, I smiled with my butt.
Yeah, all good there?
Yeah. I got to go back in 6 months.
Yeah. And Keon, who always looks constipated, I think he's fine. I think he's okay.
I am not constipated. That's just my face.
Yeah, I just people comment a lot. They're like, "Hey, I saw you guys on the YouTube, and Keon looks miserable."
Wow.
And then so now we're starting to take it personal. Like, well, maybe Keon's miserable. He doesn't.
I got
like
some
us.
I got some Go Lively left over, Keon. If you need that, so help get things moving for you.
Sure.
No, definitely don't need that.
Ducalax
and get the plumbing going
I
again.
definitely
really
don't need that.
Listen, I can recommend some good Mexican food places. Really open you up. Get some of that stuff going. Oh yeah, I can help you out.
The easy go-to on that is Chipotle. I mean, that always takes care of business if you need to, clean the hatch, if you know what I'm saying.
I know. That's why Chipotle is banned from my
banned
house.
from your repertoire.
Yes, can't do it.
Yeah. I've never had problems with Taco Bell, but yes, at the Chipotle, that is a place where I've had some issues. But hey, if you do like Chipotle, they're adding a new meat to their menu. I don't know if you know that, but they're going to
know.
put brisket in there, Randy. Brisket smoked to perfect tenderness, according to Chipotle. Then again, they also say the other meat they cook is good, and I've yet to see it.
They don't season it well. So how could that possibly be?
Well, Randy, you like Chipotle, right? You like
I do like the Chipotle. Yeah, I do well. I get the steak. I don't get the chicken. And it'll be interesting to see how this brisket comes across to me.
Yeah, here's what they're saying. It'll be seasoned with a blend of spices and Mexican pepper sauce, topped with a new sauce made from smoked chili peppers. So why these things are new, the diarrhea will be the same. So you're going to be set, whatever you need. So
they aim for consistency at Chipotle.
Yeah, not so much cleanliness, but consistency. 888-368-1580. Hey, by the way, Keon, yesterday somebody asked you a betting line on Appalachian State, and Marshall, and you, of course, said Appalachian State, but did you see what happened at the end of the game there?
No, I missed that.
Oh, it's not good. Some of the Appalachian State fans were hanging over, the stands as the players were walking off from Marshall, and they're flipping them off and saying, "Kill yourself." They were telling them just horrible, horrible things.
Good God.
As they were walking off, they're talking about their mothers, saying they should kill themselves, and just being very horrible at a team you just beat. What is the point of that? Is that your Appalachian State, that I can't believe you support this sort of behavior, Keon.
What, me? I don't support that kind of behavior. I just know that they happen to be a very good FCS college football program in a dangerous schedule. But apparently their fans are craptastic people.
Yeah. So Keon supports this sort of behavior from the fans.
Just
100%. Keon, something I didn't even expect out of you, man.
I
really
didn't expect it out of me either. Shocked. And that is because I do not support that. Just gonna make sure that's 100% clear.
Probably have to get some counseling for Keon, because I think he may have some anger issues.
Counseling
we brought him onto the show.
Counsel those people. They were the ones actually doing the acting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
if only we were
behavior.
paying attention to what Keon was saying right now.
I
We're
know.
just so busy being stunned and disappointed by his actions.
Quite frankly, shocked.
By my actions. I wasn't there. I didn't do anything. I didn't even watch the end of the
Supporting
game.
This sort of hooliganism.
Yeah. I don't know how you can stand for something like this, Keon.
I don't is the very easy answer to that question. I do not. And you guys are trying to stir stuff up. I know what's going on here. That we know that there's a fourth dimension investigation into my life is to find something
diverting.
I think he's trying to divert.
I am not diverting. This is the subject
of the
at hand.
Spotlight off of him and onto someone else, our
trying to create
in the fourth dimension.
You're trying to create the very issue that's going to hound me for the rest of my days. I know that's what you're doing.
Keon,
I know that's what it is.
Can you try to get yourself under control? We have a guest today. Okay, we don't usually have guests, but later on in the next hour, Matt Humans from Beeson is going to be with us and give us our best bets for gambling this weekend. Can you at least try to keep it together for that?
I am together.
Boy, it's disappointing.
I know, this outburst here is we're only 5.5 minutes into this show, and he's already he's all riled up with this Appalachian State vigor. He's just ready to go.
Is that an Appalachian State shirt you've got on there today, Keon?
No, definitely is.
It is a Guyana
looks
shirt.
like the colors to me. Yeah.
Well, Guyana, they are all fans of Appalachian State.
That is incorrect. I don't think that anyone in Guyana knows where the Appalachians are, much less a college
program between Appalachian State and Guyana.
But now you're just slandering my nation, sir. I don't know. No, sir, that is not happening.
Well, whatever the case, we just very disappointed in Appalachian State. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So the Ryder Cup is going on.
How about that, huh? Go
and,
USA! USA!
Yes, which seems an odd thing to get crazy about when it's golf, but it's not even close right now, right, Randy? I don't understand how they do the scoring. I just saw 3-1.
Yeah, well, it's sort of a match play environment. You win, and you win by winning the hole. So these guys are the best in the world at playing golf. You're right now playing. You're playing the teams. So you got 2 Americans playing 2 Europeans, and if you win the hole, then that's a hole for you. At the end of the match, the team with the most wins gets the victory, gets the point. And right now, USA is 3-1 over European, the European Alliance, and currently in play, it's another 3-1 situation, USA leading there. So at the end of the day, it could be 6-2.
Right. It's going to be pretty much like this the rest of the way, right? We're going to dominate this, right?
Well, I believe so. Yeah. I don't think.
How bad does that taste, Europe, when you got a team that has a couple of guys on it, don't even like each other, and they're whooping your ass up and down the fairways?
DeChambeau had quite the day today this morning. He played very well in his match with his partner. I forget who his partner is right now, but it wasn't Brooksy. It wasn't Brooksy.
Oh, the Europeans got to be shouting Brooksy out there. I'd be shocked if you haven't seen that happen.
Well, you know why America is doing so well. This is not being played on American soil. This is at what do you call it over there in the United Kingdom? And
Scotland.
Ireland. I don't know, but it's UK. It's one of those courses in the UK. The wind is whistling. And it's cold, and then it's hot, and then there's rain, and then it's full sunshine. It's all 4 seasons in 1 hour. Hey, it's craziness. But you know who's over there supporting the United States? The great one.
Alanis Morissette.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give you one more guess.
The great one.
The great one.
Jackie Gleason?
No, he's dead. No.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. You did not name
Tiger Woods.
No, sorry. Oh. Close. He wore 23, played for the Chicago Bears. We know him as MJ. You know him as Michael Jordan is there.
I think you mean the Bulls.
That man is.
What did I say?
You said the Bears.
Yeah. Oh, the Bulls. Sorry. Bulls.
Yeah, I was confused for a second.
Listen, I had a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, no, don't blame me at all.
Listen, that doesn't mean that he'll bring his greatness to the team.
Oh, no, he already has.
He's there to gamble.
Just his presence on the golf course. And that fact that he had a really nice cigar. That thing
is pretty well surgically attached to him at this point. I've never seen him without one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So one of the other things that happened, everybody's like, oh my God, it's the kid from Harry Potter. So here's the thing. The kid from Harry Potter, the bad kid from Harry Potter played the I don't know, blonde kid, I guess is his name in the show. Blonde kid from white-haired kid from the Harry Potter, the little punk. Now he's all grown up though. He's 34 years old. He still looks like he's 15, but he's 34 years old. His name is Tom Felton, and he collapsed. He collapsed at the everybody's, oh my God. And so he went out on a stretcher, and then they took him out. Well, here's the thing. He just had a birthday. He didn't collapse from an illness. That man was dehydrated from all the boozing. He was hung the hell over. He's out there at this match and just went punk right over. Don't let anybody tell you, well, he partied way too damn hard. And that's what happened. So, but that's the big headline everywhere. Not, oh, we're kicking Europe's ass. It's a little bastard from Harry Potter just went down.
Yeah,
like they were letting some teenager drink or something.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they would. It's Europe. They do.
Yeah, I think the teenagers do that.
The drinking age in England, I believe, is 7.5 years old.
I think it's younger than that.
It's very irresponsible. But they do. They let that happen. So. All right, let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. King of Kitten says, hey, Keon, Middle Tennessee is in Charlotte this afternoon, and Wake Forest plays Virginia in Charlottesville. Who you got?
Oh, boy.
And keep in mind, guys, we're going to do Keon's college football dance party later on in the program.
Oh, yeah.
But go ahead, Keon. You can Middle Tennessee in Charlotte and Wake Forest in Charlottesville playing Virginia.
The couple of really good games there. I'm going to go Charlotte and Virginia to bounce back.
Really? Because I would have gone Tennessee and Wake Forest, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, we already know. We've already established on this show that Keon does like Appalachian State, so he's going to go with the more, angry
aggressive crowd.
What aggressive crowd?
People.
What?
Just save it. Keon, can you
really
just save it?
Save
on a day
what?
where Tom Felton goes down on a golf course in England, hung over off his ass trying to celebrate his birthday. You're going to spoil it with this sort of outburst, Keon?
It seems like he spoiled it already.
It's comments like that, Keon. So
I'm just pointing out facts here. That's all I do.
Washington Capitals now have become the first NHL team to sell advertising on their jerseys. What do you think of that? That's your team there, right? That's your hockey team.
I mean, well, I suppose you don't know my stance on advertising on jerseys. I do not like it. I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan. I know the NBA's kind of snuck some stuff in there. You get a little ad on the top left corner. I've learned to ignore it, but mostly if you have a say in the matter, no, like get it out of here. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it.
I can say it also depends on what it is. What I really want to see is something where the players are embarrassed of it. Like Tampax. I want to see that on a jersey just to see them just be like, every time they're doing a free throw,
they paid for it, so I have to wear it. I don't. This
Makes
doesn't
sense.
apply to me. Yeah.
Why not? I mean, especially for LeBron James. Anyway, well, he gets the cramps a lot. 888-368-1580
from the Kotex court here in the
right.
in the Los Angeles Arena at
That's
Staples Center.
Well, once once the Clippers move out, it's going to be crazy there, I think. Fubar 1000 says, hiya, Blender dudes. I think it's safe to drop Robbie Anderson now. Don't think he's going to be wide receiver one ever. Papa Mike says, well, Keon, I never.
Never what?
Here it comes.
Never
Here comes
what?
Keon.
Boogie
I
says,
pity you.
Keon, blink 3 times if you need us to come get you out of there.
He's blinking
Yeah.
3 times.
Mr. Pringle says, after 2 weeks, Tyler has to be on a short list for league MVP.
Oh, boy.
Wait. Yeah. Oh, he's Kyler. I thought he said Keon. Yeah. Screaming Eagle says, happy Friday, guys. You trying to get rid of Keon? No, we're trying to keep Keon and hold him to a higher standard than I guess what he has decided to show up here and exhibit. That's all.
Wow.
We're just trying to help Keon. We like Keon. But this Appalachian State nonsense, we can't abide it.
We cannot have any part of that.
We talk about the toughness of hockey players on this show. Do you realize that instigating is a penalty in hockey? That is a penalty. Instigating.
I think, Randy, hold your flag. There's no reason to throw a flag on Keon for instigating this whole thing by picking Appalachian State.
Wow. How can you instigate by making
Hey, I just stood up for you, Keon. You might want to watch
that. That is the opposite of what that is. But okay, sure.
Disappointing. Bruno Baller says, is Apple Nation State University in Washington? No, it's Appalachian, like the mountains and stuff. Yeah. It's where the bears, when you drive through, they'll try to get you to throw food at them and flip you off. He says, by the way, some good, strong black coffee in the morning can help you get regular as well. If you need any help with that, Keon.
Yeah,
I don't. So I'm all good. But thanks for the advice.
You don't partake of the coffee? You got something against coffee now?
No, I like coffee. I just don't.
This just
don't need coffee.
Keon hates coffee drinkers.
I just
all of them
need to clear out anything.
Wow. He hates all coffee drinkers.
I'm a coffee drinker.
My God.
How can you be a coffee drinker and yet hate everybody that drinks coffee?
It's almost like don't
help us understand you.
Okay.
Russell Hayes says, is the Ryder Cup about people who race rented Ryder trucks? Oh, I wish it was. Oh, my God.
That would be much more fun, wouldn't it?
Yes. Just Attempt says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I wonder if Keon's constipation makes him support such horrid behavior. Reprehensible that he then goes off denying the facts, which are plainly obvious and before you. I had such high hopes for Keon. Oh,
wow.
The humanity.
Just took 2 baseless accusations and combined them into 1 baseless, useless accusation. Congratulations.
Lacrosse guy says, Randy, they're playing in Wisconsin, Whistling Straits.
Oh, I thought this was overseas. I thought this one of those fancy, well-to-do Saint clubs, they have over there where all the grass grows up. Whistling Straits? Oh, then we're going to kick their ass then.
If it's in Wisconsin, that means that blood alcohol level isn't as much a factor as the blood alcohol, the blood cholesterol level.
Yes.
And if it's too low, they throw you into Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Okay.
Rough Rob says, afternoon, guys. It's good to see Keon being a little more lively than Phil was. What? Hey, Randy, how about them Diamondbacks? Oh, shut up, Rob. How about that? How about shut up, Rob? How about that? You know what? We know the Diamondbacks suck. Okay? We know. Sorry, Randy, go ahead.
That's the way it's done. I don't even have to say anything.
I was going to say, if you want to answer him, go ahead. But that's the way I know we feel the same.
You have done an admirable job, my friend.
Yeah. God, I hope we have something better to talk about next year with the Diamondbacks. Fed fan says, don't worry, Keon. I don't drink coffee either. Keon, how many times have you gone to your apartment managers looking to get out of your lease early? King of Kitten says, Appalachian State is in Boone, North Carolina. There you go. The more you know. Mr. Pringle says 13 in a row for St. Louis Cardinals, by the way.
How about that? St. Louis Cardinals turning it on. Too little, too late, though, I think.
All right. Let's see. Let's do it. We got to take a break. We have to take with so much stuff that we got to talk about and do in this show today. And let's get some of the basics done and out of the way so we don't run out of time. We got a gambling guy giving us some good betting advice going into the weekend. We're going to do Keon's college football dance party later on. I got a great man of the day for you. We got tons of NFL to talk about. And then other things I'm sure I forgot. So everybody hang in there, stay tuned, and we'll be right back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 43rd Ryder Cup. I'm Erica Herskowitz. The United States took 3 of 4 matches in foursomes this morning and now is leading Europe 4-1 after taking the first match in 4-ball.
The stroke, the ball up to the cup. It disappeared. It disappeared. And so did Europe's chances. That is a win for the Americans. A 4-3 victory for Harris English and Tony Finau over Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry.
And in the first match, Team USA is getting it done with Justin Johnson and Xander Schauffele 2 up through 16 over Paul Casey and Bernd Wiesberger. In the second match, Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler are 1 up on John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton through 15. And the Americans took a commanding lead in match 3 where Tony Finau and Harris English just won. The Europeans are ahead in match 4. Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland are 1 up through 13 on Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay.
Some people treat investing like a game, but Marcus by Goldman Sachs approaches investing in a smart way with digitally managed portfolios that leverage Goldman Sachs strategies. So, do you want to play games or do you want your money to work smart? You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs and Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online, you better have a good excuse.
Yeah.
We've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love. Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk. And you'll love every bit of it.
Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports tonight. High school football. You got Ironwood Ridge and Sal Point Catholic. And I was trying to figure out, why do these names sound so different and weird? And I realized what it is, Randy. They're going to Tucson for this one. These are Tucson teams.
Yeah. Tucson, is that Ironwood Ridge? Is that what
That's
that
right.
is, or Sal
Ironwood
Point?
Ridge at Sal Point Catholic.
Yeah,
I
because
think,
here in Phoenix,
they both?
we don't have to add any wood to our names. We already have great names.
That's right. And so basically, this is the how to get out of a horrible city drill. What happens is the AIA goes down, and they broadcast the game, and then they load up a bus with as many refugees as they can and try to save their, get to Phoenix, get
them out of there.
Yeah, get them past security, get them past the checkpoints. And that's it's the Lord's work, really.
Yeah, really is.
To save people from the horrible city of Tucson.
AIA are really saints over there, and they're doing their part to try to help people out of Tucson.
Yeah. Tip of the hat is all I can say. Yeah. And then tomorrow and Sunday, we have long form Ryder Cup coverage for you. So you can listen to the Americans whip those Europeans' asses all over the golf courses. And so this is going to be a fun weekend here on 1580 The Fanatic. Now, later on, it'll be time for Keon's college football dance party. But right now, I want to talk about one game that matters. The only game that matters to us is Arizona State University hosting Colorado. And now Colorado, has beaten ASU in their last meeting, which was back in 2019. And actually, Arizona State University, though, has the edge on them in history. They've beaten them 8 times out of 11. So this weekend, though, Arizona State University probably wouldn't mind winning this one and trying to better themselves and then trying to beat the next ranked opponent to get themselves back into the AP poll.
Yes.
So let's talk about this weekend's game. Now, is Colorado a school that ASU really needs to worry that much about, Keon?
They're not that scary. They're decent, but they're not scary. I mean, they're an opponent that you shouldn't overlook. They will absolutely beat you if, like last week, ASU has a ton of penalties. They're not disciplined, all of that. But the fact of the matter is ASU is at home this game, and Colorado, they're okay. They're an okay football team. That's a team you ought to beat.
But then again, they do have a quarterback. I mean, I just know they have one.
Yeah, they do have one. His name is Brendan Lewis. He's been okay this season. I think just over 50% of his passes he's completed. So it's been a rocky season for them getting their footing underneath them. But with a quarterback like that, he's got a strong arm. He could always make plays. I know the accuracy is going to be an issue, but he does have the ability to where if you make a mistake, he can go over the top of you.
Look, man, ASU's got to go into this game and not make mistakes. ASU has got to go in and play their game. They have a wonderful array of talents around a wonderfully talented quarterback. If they can just play a clean game, that's going to be the most important thing for the Sun Devils. Play a clean game. Don't go out there and assess yourself out of field goal range or, get you on a third down and short and make a stupid mistake with an offsides penalty or something like that that'll push you back. They've got to play a clean game. And I think they'll win this with no problem.
Yeah, and that's what Herm Edwards was saying last week. He's like, yeah, we played against ourselves, and they've got to make sure they don't do that this week and every other week following. So it's a get-right game against Colorado. But, hey, can you take a look at the schedule there? Tell me, when is their next ranked opponent? The kind of win that might help you get back into the polls. Arizona State still had a bunch of votes on the AP, pretty high up, but not enough to get them to crack the top 25. But I'd like to know what the next opponent is out there that could help them get back up in there. Flame 100 says Colorado can't score. They couldn't beat Texas A&M after knocking out their starting quarterback.
Yeah, but Texas A&M is a really, really, really good football team. They were in the top 10 at the time, and knocking out their starting quarterback wasn't that big a deal because they had 2 guys that they really liked. They just ended up going to the other guy. The Haynes King got knocked out. Zach Calzada comes in and takes over, and it's almost like they don't miss a beat because he's almost as good.
Bruno Baller says, will you guys be carrying the Notre Dame Wisconsin game at 9 a.m. tomorrow? No, we won't. Well, because we got a bunch of other stuff on. We got the AIA show is on there, and Drive Friendly and everything else. So, but we do have is right after Drive Friendly, we got Ryder Cup coverage. And then later, we've got West Virginia and Oklahoma. But no, the Notre Dame game is just on too early. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yes, Keon, you have your finger up as if to say you want to say something.
Yes, as if to say check the schedule. The next game that might get you back in the good graces and get you back in the top 25 UCLA is it's a road game, and it's going to be next week, basically.
How tough are they right now?
UCLA
right now is ranked 24, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can knock them out.
So provided UCLA doesn't do something impossibly stupid like lose to Stanford this week, making that game useless, then you should be able to win that game and get back in the top 25.
Go UCLA to a point. Colorado averages 14 points a game, says Jag Dog. ASU will cover that easy. Yeah, everybody wants to talk about the betting angle. Bob Schmeldoff is on and says,
he's back.
I have my Saturday picks. All right. Bob Schmeldoff, the official betting consult for the Daily Blender. You can find him on the Twitters.
Yeah.
He says, take Arkansas and the points. Plus 5.5 is at negative 110. Wisconsin to win. Money line is at minus 230. Oklahoma State to win. The money line is at negative 230. Take Michigan State and the points. Minus 5. It's at negative 110. Ford will win. Take the money line at plus 160. UNLV versus Fresno State. Take the over. Negative 110. Am I saying that right? Negative 110.
Minus.
Just always say minus.
Minus. Yeah.
I'm used to seeing like negative temperatures in Minnesota. So
gotcha.
Also, he's taking the over at plus 380. That Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau will get into a brawl on the course, and Koepka gets a golf ball shoved in his mouth and thrown in the water on hole 16.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I'd take the bet, though. I mean, seriously, imagine if it happens. It's a good bet, Bob Schmeldoff. I'll tell you what, I've made a lot of money listening to that man.
A ton of money. Maybe.
The wife doesn't need to know.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'll keep it on the down low. I'm going to take Brooks Koepka in that fight. I don't think Bryson DeChambeau could beat anybody.
I think Brooks Koepka's annoyed enough, but Bryson DeChambeau's got some power behind him. He does have some power.
He does, but Bryson DeChambeau is like the nerd that was bullied way too much and then went to the gym and got big, but he still doesn't know how to use it.
Right. He's he probably still flinch a lot.
Yeah, in a fight, instead of throwing a punch, Bryson DeChambeau would have to sit there and analyze it, do all the math that's involved.
Then it's over.
Yeah, and Brooks Koepka's not like that. He'll just punch you, knock you out, and walk away.
I don't know if he has the punching power to actually knock him out.
Oh my God! Have you seen his arms? They're huge. Oh my God!
I don't know. I need to see the tail of the tape on Koepka, but maybe we'll get Bob Arnhem on the show and we can work this out. Let's do that as soon as we can. Charlie Boy says, "Hi guys, Keon is right. Integrating a fight is wrong." What? Interrogating a fight. I think the word you're looking for there is instigating, Charlie Boy.
Yeah.
He says, no excuse whatsoever. You're right, Keon.
Thank you.
He says, you're all right.
I appreciate that.
I can't wait for you to meet Charlie Boy next time we have a remote. He's an awesome guy. I want to see a dance-off between Keon and Charlie Boy.
A dance-off?
Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big George says, hey guys, happy Friday. I'm still in shock that the Diamondbacks extended Torey Lovello. It's obvious the Diamondbacks leadership is inept and they're content on being the worst team in baseball.
Well, I don't know that this season was a fault of Torey Lovello's. Torey Lovello is a decent coach. I don't like some of the decisions he makes during the games, but I think some of those decisions are out of his hands. I think Mike Hazen and Derrick Hall should be held responsible for this absolute mess of a ball club. Mike Hazen specifically, he was the guy that put this team together. And so he and his cronies, in my opinion, should be run out of town. And if I were Mr. Kendricks, I would have ransacked the whole thing. I just would have ransacked the whole damn thing. All right, the first day after the end of the season, because you're not going to the postseason, you call them all in. Look, guys, like you all, I respect you all. However, we're going a different direction.
I don't know if you were on with us. We were talking about it. My theory is Hazen knows that he is toast, and he's just done everything he can to try to save Torey Lovello because he does. He probably feels bad. He didn't give them what they needed as far as personnel to do anything. So I think he might be kind of falling on his sword at the moment, either knowing he is toast or, maybe he's already worked it out with the ownership that, as soon as this season is over, he's done. I would not be at all surprised to see that.
It wouldn't surprise me either. But listen, you got to take this team and dismantle it. Let's look at the Milwaukee Brewers for a second. This is a team full of guys that are, journeyman baseball players. You got a few studs out there. The rest of these guys are just go out every day, business-like men, and do their job. And that's the kind of team that the Arizona needs. We don't need to waste all of our payroll on one or two guys. What we need to do is build a team full of journeyman ball players that go out and grind it out every day and play good ball. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've been here my entire life. If you put a baseball product or an ice hockey product or a basketball team, Phoenix Suns are a great example of what I'm about to say.
Absolutely.
You put a good team out there, guys that'll compete. They don't have to go win the damn World Series every year, and they don't have to go to the postseason. But if they're a good team and they're battling, people will pay their money and go watch them. But they're not going to go watch a team lose 100+ games.
No, in fact, I haven't checked the attendance for the Diamondbacks.
It's horrid.
But a lot of that is probably people who are fans of the other teams. But still, yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's a simple concept. Why don't the Diamondbacks figure that out and get out of their own way? Are they just like, well, we're going to cruise like we are for a while and save money? Is that what it is? Is the owner hurting for some cash?
Mr. Kendricks is one of the owners in this group of owners, right? That is not a multi-billionaire. He's one of the less rich guys, if you will, and he doesn't have these deep pockets like the Dodgers or the Yankees that put together a team and pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. What he is like more on the lower end. He's got to be a budget-minded owner, and that's where you got to start looking. Bring in a general manager with that kind of mindset that can go out and get you some ball players that are coming here and play. Well, you can't win on the cheap, but you can't win this way either. Just putting a mishmash of ball players and let your number guys from Harvard in the front office there crunch numbers and think you can do Moneyball all over again either.
Yeah, this is not a good way to do things, and you have to know in the Major League Baseball, it takes money to make money. They're going to have to. I don't know what they need to do to get that money to start doing this right, but yeah, this can't go on. It can't go on this way.
I think I read when I was looking up ball teams and their payroll. I think I read that the Diamondbacks payroll, if you split it out, that Madison Bumgarner gets like 20% of the total payroll for the Diamondbacks. Those are terrible moves.
What's the point?
Right.
You can't do it. The guy, if you're going to pay that kind of money for a pitcher, he better come in here and throw you 21 wins and just be bulletproof.
And he's not. He had a rough go for a bit.
Madison Bumgarner is he's like 4 years removed from bulletproof Madison Bumgarner years. Right. So that's you're paying for a guy that's just over the hill. But Randy, I have a question for you because I know you're talking about like you can't do Moneyball over again. I don't think anybody really can. But the Oakland A's are still competitive, and Tampa Bay on their payroll, which also isn't very high, is competitive. Isn't there something that the Diamondbacks can do in that vein, at least, where you're at least aiming at the right prospects? Because there's no way that those franchises can operate on the money that they operate on. And Arizona just can't get it right.
I got to tell you, you have made a great point. Tampa Bay currently leads the division. That's the American League East. Oh, by the way, the Red Sox are in that division. The Yankees are in that division. They can spend money like it's nobody's business. And here are the Tampa Bay Rays sitting there on top of the American League East. As far as the Oakland Athletics, you're right. They're a competitive ball club. My answer to that is let's go find a guy from one of those organizations that know how they're getting it done. I would can everybody in baseball operation. I would can everybody, scouts, everybody, and I would build this thing up from the ground and get some people in here that can build a relevant team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But again, you can't. It's hard to find that person, isn't it? It's hard to find those people.
I don't know.
So few people have that sort of experience. Everybody else is just on a team that throws money at everything.
Well, like Keon said, and Milwaukee too. By the way, if you watch that team, they are just guys they're not superstars. I mean, I have a couple of guys on there that are big names, but the rest of them are just journeyman ball players, and they have thought this out and thought the best way to go about it. It can't be so slanted towards, we need to have a ball club that hits 358 on Thursday nights against left-handed pitchers when the temperature's 76 degrees. They need to get a good balance between analytics and good baseball people. And then you have to develop your farm team. When's the last time we brought a guy up that we've developed and has turned out to be great for this ball club? Hell, we trade all of our talent away.
Right.
Paul Goldschmidt is one of the hottest players in baseball this past month. Where's he? He's not here in Phoenix.
Not for a long time. And you know what? Let me simplify this. If we can't get the personnel to do it the way they're doing it over there on the East Coast, as Randy was explaining, then you got to get somebody to invest in this team so the team can then turn and invest in the players and do it the way everybody else is doing. Because right now, it's just, how is this working as a business model? I mean, you guys probably understand the business of baseball better than I do, but at some point, doesn't this start to lose money? I mean, they've got to be losing money, or is it just doesn't matter because TV money and concessions, and I guess even with a few ticket sales, they'll be fine. I mean, what is going on with the the finances for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Are they still making money doing it this way?
Boy, I can't believe that they are. I have to believe that they'd be operating backwards rather than going forwards or even breaking even. I think you're right. There's television money to be spread around, but I don't know if that pays all the bills and everything. And I think that Mr. Kendricks is going to have to take a good hard look at his baseball team, and he's going to have to get somebody in there that can make some decisions and build a relevant club. People will come support a relevant club. They don't have to be champions every year, but at least be competitive and have a fun ball club. These guys are not fun. The chemistry on this team is all wrong. They're too streaky. The pitching staff needs to be really re-examined, and we've got to develop our farm club. We've got to.
In the meantime, we suffer, the fans, the people who would love to support this team even more fully than maybe we already do. 888-368-1580. Go ahead, Randy. Sorry about that.
One more example, though. I mean, in Washington, they won the World Series 3 seasons ago?
2019.
Yeah, 2019. And look where they're at. They're in the cellar of their division, and because they broke all that apart, and they're rebuilding that team back up. But it starts in the front office, in my opinion. You got to get a good general manager who can make the right moves and not just listen to one group of people or another. He's got to get a team that's working with him. Everybody's got to be going the same direction.
I think we're going to know how next season goes in about a month. I think we'll have a pretty good picture of it by then. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, I'm not paying to go to a baseball game and watch a trashy team. But that said, these players are professional and should at least win 3 out of every 5 games. I'm sure they would love to kiss the cook, but I don't think they can. I don't think we have enough talent to do that, especially not in the pitching department. Now, like I've said, like we've noticed, they'll win. Most of the time they'll win at least 1 out of any series, but generally they're only winning 3 games out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. I got your man of the day. And of course, we're going to get into some NFL too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Monday at 1 p.m., let's look back at ASU Colorado game and at the other college football game from the weekend. How did the Cardinals perform with the early start in Jacksonville? And let's take a peek at the other weekend NFL games, Ryder Cup results, and more. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event Monday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera, live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Some of our listeners are football fans, and then others are football fans. So relax. You're among friends. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for the NFL.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. That's right, football fans. Sunday night football is the Packers at the 49ers. That should be an interesting game to see where we really are with one Mr. Aaron Rodgers and where we really are with whether or not the 49ers are takers or fakers. We got Monday Night Football with the Eagles and the Cowboys. And, of course, don't forget, Daily Blender is on at 2 p.m. on Mondays until the time change happens. So there you go. There's the football for you. Oh, and if you like the college football, we got West Virginia at Oklahoma on Saturday at 4 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. So now this next text made me laugh out loud. Now, Randy knows what that means. That means it made me laugh. I don't usually LOL. I think that's a stupid thing. Then every time I see that, I sort of roll my eyes when anybody says LOL. But this was damn funny. And I'm going to say that before I say it because, well, I just feel like it needs to be said.
Okay.
Mr. Pringle says, I'm guessing Kyler Murray can't wait to get his booster shots. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Come on. Wow. That's funny.
It is funny, but
care what anybody says. Wow. Sorry, Randy. Ukul the Mock says, hello, Randy. Keon, happy Friday. Wish you the best this weekend and whatever, Radio Pal. Your UCLA is going to get beat by ASU. Just going to have to learn to live with that. Just a Tip says, the Diamondbacks have run a differential of minus 220. The average of the NL West is plus 128. That's not a coaching problem. That's a general manager problem. Plus, Bumgarner is under contract for 3 more years. Ain't the coach's fault that he has to throw him out there every 5th day.
No, it's certainly not. You're exactly right. And that's why Torey Lovello is getting an extension, a 1-year extension with an option for a 2nd year if this team can get it turned around. And we'll have to wait and see what they do in the offseason. Are they going to dismantle this team and go out there in free agency and try to build something from scratch? Or are they going to find a nucleus of this team and try to build around it? Those are questions that none of that's going to be answered until this team finally, mercifully comes to an end.
I still think that if the general manager is still there by the end of the season and we're going into next season, it's an extension that doesn't make any sense. Because like if all of this is the general manager's fault, and it is because there's no talent there and that's his job is get talent, then your manager is just going to have nothing to work with just like he did last year.
Well, I mean, in these days and times in baseball, Keon, you know this. Sorry, Jeffrey. You know, they have all these different titles. They have they've got a general manager, then they got a vice president of baseball operations, and then they have a president of baseball operations, and they have a vice president of scouting. All of those people are responsible. Every single one of them.
That's true.
It's not just Mike Hazen. It's everybody making decisions to build this team the way it was built.
Well, I always wonder about, answering to the boss. You know what I mean? Because right now, in my situation for my Indianapolis Colts, there's Jim Mushroom Irsay. There is Frank Reich, the coach. Of course, the general manager is Chris Ballard. And one of the things that it strikes me, it comes to my mind with this whole Carson Wentz problem and the fact that Eason turns out forget him. And then they got Hundley doing all the first team reps and blah, blah, blah. As you're looking at that situation and your worst nightmare is starting to come true, how is that conversation going with the owner? You know what I'm saying? Is Chris Ballard going, Jim, I told you, this is Frank Reich's doing. Is Frank Reich, you know what I'm saying? How uncomfortable can that conversation be? Now, Jim Irsay is a bazillionaire. He's not a billionaire. He's a bazillionaire. He owns John Lennon's damn piano. He owns Les Paul's Les Paul. I mean, this is a guy who no shortage of money to throw out any problem. So, then I look over here at the Arizona Diamondbacks and I'm thinking, okay, how is Hazen answering to the people above him in the situation of how bad the Diamondbacks have been? Is this a part of the plan? Did he say, all right, we're going to do this, this, and this? Did they go to him and say, we need to save money, so just do what you can with this, this, and this? And he's gone back to them and said, well, this is what you get. Is that, I mean, if that is a scenario where ownership and management of the Diamondbacks have stated, here is the budget, and we're going to take some losses, but this is going to get us through this time to this time, that is the only way in hell Hazen survives, is if this was all part of a master money-saving plan by the Diamondbacks.
Well, money-saving or not, budget baseball is no new thing to the major leagues. With everything that's going on and the amount of contracts nowadays, not every team can afford to pay that type of money. They can't afford to pay, a Mike Trout or Fernando Tatis or those type of contracts. The Diamondbacks are not going to pay $500 million to somebody over 10 years. They're just not going to do it. What they're trying to do is get guys on 1-2 season contracts, and they're trying to put together a team on a budget and let them go out there and play. And if they have some guys in the minor leagues, a lot of times general managers will use that as trade. And that's what this program has done. They have traded away all their talent. We had the number 1 overall pick in Dansby Swanson. Where is he today? Oh, that's right. He's with the NL East leading Atlanta Braves, and he's turned out to be a great ball player.
He's damn good. Yeah.
We had a guy that was pitching for Washington, pitched him right through to the World Series. Now he's with the Dodgers, a guy by the name of Max Scherzer, and we traded him away. And where are the people that these guys were traded for? They're nowhere to be found.
So then that just goes right to one guy, Mike Hazen. 888-368-1580. Moist one says, did you say Crank Reich? That's a good name. No, it's not. No, it's
maybe.
Not. Sure. Boogie says West Virginia versus Oklahoma, the Married Cousins Bowl on 1580, the Fanatic. Random texter says, Jeffrey, I hate to tell you this, Kyler Murray is not anxious to get the booster shot. Kyler Murray is the reason that getting the booster shot has so much controversy about it not working.
I understand that.
Probably because it was trying to make a short, because if he took the booster shot, then he'd be taller.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
It was a bad delivery, so I'm not even going to wait. It didn't make sense.
I didn't deliver it bad. I read it exactly.
No, not you.
No,
not you.
The way the joke was written to you was poor. It flagged itself.
Well, great random texture. Now you're taking us both down. Kiss the Cook says, you can't just rely on your pitching to carry the team. One supports the other. You should be able to manage and manufacture 2 runs a game to support the pitching.
I 100% guarantee. I am so happy you text that in, because it's exactly right. You can't just rely on having 3 great arms. The model for the 3 great arms is dead. What you got to do is manufacture runs. And that's where baseball has gone crazy now. You don't have home run hitters on this ball club. You've got to teach these guys, get them back to the basics of manufacturing, get them on, get them over, and get them in. That's the way a team like this can win a baseball game.
Big George says, here, Randy. I agree with you. I think the Diamondbacks need to follow the model of the Tampa Bay Rays, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Oakland Athletics, and build talent from within the organization. Madison Bumgarner deal is going to haunt this team for years to come with how expensive it is.
Well, and it just came on the heels of having Zach Greinke here. And look, did Zach Greinke bring us a pennant? Did he get us to the post? Hell no. And where's he at now? He's with Houston.
Randy's chuckle says, stop saying the Diamondbacks need to tear it down and rebuild. It's already torn down and laying in pieces all over the yard. Teach your players how to hit against the shift. Teach your pitchers how to go deep into games and step up your game, Diamondbacks.
Well, I agree with that philosophy too, but not this team.
I also disagree that it's already torn down. It's built. It's just built very poorly and sloppily. And
it's a balsa wood house.
Yeah, it's coming apart at the seams. Like, you just don't have talent. It's not like it's not like you have no players. You have players. Just you don't have guys of the caliber that you should have because you traded those guys away.
FedFan says, is Mike Hazen still the active GM? He's been on leave because of his wife's illness. Well, he was quoting on everything recently. So
yeah, he has been on leave, but you can bet he's very much the GM of this baseball team, and that he's still making decisions even if he's working remotely. He's still the GM of this ball club.
Fish Tank says, I can name 3 starters in the Diamondbacks. It is ugly out there. Just Tip says, Robbie Ray got away from the Diamondbacks. He's absolutely killing it in Toronto. What the team needs is more players like Dalton Varsho.
Well, and I agree with that. But look, Robbie Ray is a good example of what I mean when I say develop our players. Apparently, Robbie Ray is a very talented pitcher. Could you tell that when he was with us last year? Hell no. He couldn't even go out on the mound and throw 6 innings. The guy was booted most of the time after the 3rd and 4th inning because he was terrible. Now he's vying for a Cy Young Award.
Fubar 1000 says, yeah, it seems like the Diamondbacks business model is to have one superstar to carry the team. And I just don't think that's good business.
That's at all. Wrong sport. If it was basketball, you could get one superstar. Maybe you'd never win a championship, but you'd be competitive. You can't play baseball that way. It's not the same game.
Moist One says, I went to the Mariners series. I enjoyed a sweep, but there are some young players I think have a chance to break out. Rojas and Varsho were impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some young players, but I don't trust this ball club. Whoever is trying to develop these players, and usually they're older Diamondbacks players. Robbie Hammett comes to mind. You got to get some people in here that's been doing this for a while. You've got to start developing these pitchers when you first get them through the instructional leagues, through the minor leagues, and bring them up. That's how you develop a pitcher. You don't bring them up too early and then throw him to the wolves out there and just get shell shocked, and then he's just going to be walking off all the time in a daze, and finally he'll go to another team. They'll calm him down, and look what happens. Robbie Ray is my example. The guy just walks out of Diamondbacks locker room and starts throwing darts, and suddenly all of his issues are fixed. Why is that?
Yeah. There's going to be 2 names involved with that answer. 888-368-1580. Oh, we haven't even done. We haven't talked about that screech of horror. Did you guys hear the screech of horror?
No.
Every fantasy football owner who took Chris McCaffrey as their first pick.
Oh, yeah.
That screech of horror.
That's what that was. I wasn't sure. I just heard wailing and gnashing of teeth. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, it's a hamstring thing again. But again, it's not just a small thing. If you're a running back and they're thinking 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know what the last word has been on that since earlier today. But Chris McCaffrey, not looking like a good choice anymore, is he?
He's one of the ones why I didn't want to draft like second or first, because you have to take him, right? But you also know the injury risk is there.
Yeah, that is a shame, and I think now we've figured out what Chris McCaffrey is going to be for the rest of his career. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be that guy. Question is, will Saquon Barkley be that guy? Is he that guy?
If they don't get a better offensive line, he might turn into that guy.
And remember what happened to a guy we thought wasn't going to be that guy that turns into that guy? David Johnson. Remember him?
Yeah.
What happened to him? He's that guy. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey will not continue to be that guy. But, yeah, we'll talk about last night's game when we come back. We're also going to talk your best bets going into the weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 43rd Ryder Cup. I'm Erica Herskowitz. The United States took 3 of 4 matches in foursomes this morning and now is leading Europe 5-1 after taking the first and third matches in 4-ball. Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele defeated Paul Casey and Bernd Wiesberger 2-1 in the first match of the afternoon session. The Americans also won match 3, where Tony Finau and Harris English came away with a 4-3 victory over Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. In the second match, the U.S. is assured at least a half a point heading into the signature 18th hole, which is being played for the first time today. Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler are one up on John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton through 17. And the Europeans are ahead in match 4. Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland are one up through 15 on Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay. The U.S. trying to take a commanding lead here on day one. Since 1979, there have been 6 times where one side's won each of the first 2 sessions. 4 won the cup. Erica Herskowitz, Westwood One Sports.
I'm Colin Morikawa, 2020 PGA champion. In every golf journey, some goals can feel like an uphill climb, even intimidating, especially if you're on your own. But in the game of golf, helping hands are all around us. Whether you dream of a championship or you're just trying to make golf your thing, PGA coaches have industry-leading knowledge, guidance, and support to help you take the next step. Just like my PGA coach, Rick Sessinghouse, has always done for me. Wherever your golf journey is headed, a PGA coach can get you there. Find your PGA coach at pga.com/coach.
My stomach.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol Chews.
Pepto-Bismol's in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Ooh, let me try it.
Try Pepto-Bismol Chews for fast relief.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240 Rollins Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Diarrhea. Oh, it's good to hear that spot again, isn't it, Randy?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody, it's 4 o'clock. It's the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose there pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale in about 20 minutes. Matt Humans from Beeson Network is going to be on with us. He's the an editor over there, and he's the host of The Edge, and he is going to help us out and give us some inside ideas on how to bet this weekend, because, you know, Arizona's new at this sort of thing. Now we can talk about it openly. We don't got to worry about getting taken down by some feds. We can just bet all we want. That's right. We can just do whatever we want, and he's going to help us as we go into the weekend and figure out some good things to bet. All right, we have not talked about last night's game. Why? You know, because who cares? But still, I guess we should. A lot of people are very upset. Here's a text from Boogie. Freaking Christian freaking McCaffrey. Ah! He must have him in fantasy football. Hey,
that would be my guess.
Who had Christian McCaffrey in the Premier League?
I want to know who's
I
upset
don't know.
right now.
I'll go ahead and check.
Yeah, take a look at that. I'm kind of curious.
Was it the Berg? He was a
well,
big C-Mac fan, wasn't he?
Can I tell you, I wouldn't be angry if it was the Berg, only because he's in first place. He's like second place right now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be angry about it, but I have a feeling maybe it's Ralph from Herman Solar. I don't know. Yeah, Moiswin says it is Ralph. Ralph from Harmon Solar has Christian McCaffrey. Well, that explains why he didn't come by today. He was telling me, he's like, I'm really busy. I can't come by Thursday. Maybe I'll come by Friday. Not in the mood is my guess right now. That is too bad. So yeah, Christian McCaffrey, it's got himself a hammy. What was his injury last season that kept him out like for friggin' ever?
Wasn't it also a hamstring or a groin?
Lots of. I thought it really was an ankle. Was it an ankle? I don't know. Somebody tell me what it was last year that he had a problem with. I don't know if it was the hamstring, but when he's healthy, he demand. But I don't know.
No, it was a hamstring last year too.
And yeah, so wow, that's a shame. And then of course the Panthers lost J.C. Horn. It turns out now he just broke some bones in his foot there. There was no contact on that. He was just sort of backpedaling, and he backpedaled his foot, and that was the end of that. So that was that is a first round draft pick out there, and another first round draft pick. So they lost 2 first round draft picks last night,
and one on each side of the ball, which is just brutal because J.C. Horn's real good.
So the Panthers, well, thank God they've got a good defense because they're going to need it, and of course. The Panthers are trying out other running backs and stuff. I saw some guy who I'd never heard of. Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson was trying out or something. So not a good time for the Panthers.
Verizon has been named America's
You can just go ahead and just not hit that button again. The hell is that?
I was looking at, and all of a sudden this ad started playing.
I was about to start yelling at Keon. I thought for sure it was his fault.
I thought it was me too, and I was like, wait, hold on, I didn't do anything.
I've been on this page for several minutes here, and all of a sudden,
that's the problem when you go to these other things. There's always this audio that just fires off whether you want it to or not. I find that very intrusive and rude, and so I always have my speakers off. Big George says he sent me a picture of a dog riding the back of a pickup truck. He says, "Yeah, this dog is riding the back of a pickup truck. He's wearing some cool ass sunglasses, though." Wait. Okay. He's got goggles on. Those are cool. What dog puts up with that? That dog is cool as hell. You're right. Thank you for that. Hefty Lefty says, do you think David Mills and Mike Glennon are long lost brothers? Their parents must have been a giraffe and a beaker from the Muppets. How do you think David Mills did? I mean, he didn't exactly light it on fire, but he seemed like, all right, serviceable is the word, right?
Yeah, he went out there and made some plays. I was surprised actually at some of the plays he was able to make. He's not one of these rookies where you go, oh my God, how come this guy fell to the third round? You could see why he got there, but he also showed some potential, and that's got to be good news for the Texans at least.
Well, I mean, they're not going to win any games, but at least they won't look horribly embarrassed. In fact, the first half, they were making it competitive at least. But, it wasn't good football last night. Let's just be honest. It was ugly. It was not fun to watch. And that was like the first bummer game of the season.
Well, Jeff Cole, riddle me this, Batman. Who saw Sam Darnold being this good? 23-34, 304 yards. He didn't throw any interceptions. He's got a QBR of 62.8. Seemed like he looked pretty comfortable behind that offensive line in Carolina. I don't know how good they are.
Okay, let's take a look at who they played. Well. Who have they played? Let's take a look at who have the Panthers played so far. Now, understand something. The Panthers are not going to be good against good teams. Sam Darnold is another serviceable quarterback, but at least, he seems to look better now than he did with the Jets, but anybody would look better with the Panthers than would with the Jets. So I don't know if we can get all excited about this. So
they did beat the Jets 19-14, but in the second week they beat the Saints 26-7. That's pretty soundly.
Okay, so right there is a fact that the Carolina Panthers defense is good enough, and James Winston just had a backslid game. That's not something you can read a whole lot into. I think that the Panthers defense will make an effort, but like they did last night, get worn down by the second half in every game, and they will lose just about every damn game, especially now they don't have the running game.
Playing the Cowboys next. They've got the Eagles after that, the Vikings after that, the Giants, Falcons, Patriots, Cardinals, the Washington football team. I mean,
there's some winnable games there.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of winnable games there for Carolina.
So a soft schedule will get them somewhere, but they're not going to get anywhere really that matters. Watch when the teams they play the teams that matter. You'll see the real Panthers.
I agree. I just think that Sam Darnold looked like a bust in New York. And he doesn't look like that in Carolina. That doesn't mean he looks great, but he looks like an actual NFL quarterback.
Well, you're getting a clear picture of who Sam Darnold is. This is the clear picture. Everybody had questions. Well, but he's on the Jets. Well, come on. He's on the Jets. Well, now, come on. He's on the Panthers. But I think you have an accurate representation of the human bobblehead now. And that is what you're seeing with that, which is fine. Good for him. And if it gives some of you Panthers fans some hope, congratulations, but with Christian McCaffrey out, that's really going to put old Sam Darnold on the run, I think. Boogie says quarterback Mills for Houston, actually 2/3 human and 1/3 giraffe, which explains his neck. That is
he's got a long but also wide neck. It's strange.
He needs like one of them linebacker things. They're those big neck rolls that those defensive guys have, because you get uncomfortable watching them. Fubar 1000 says, so what's going on with the Texans backfield? I mean, who the hell is their top running back? There is a committee, and that's all you need to know about it. Let's see. Fubar, I'm sorry. That's it. He sent me a picture. It's a clearly photoshopped of Mills, and it shows completion percentage 67.9%, touchdowns 1, interceptions 0, passes thrown 28, quarterback rating 58.1, neck size Kyler Murray, current status GOAT, notable talents can suck peanut butter through a coffee straw. And it's got his neck stretched up. Boogie, would you go ahead and just post that on the Twitterverse? And Randy, let's go ahead and turn off that computer. Okay. Let's see here. Fish Tank says, just looked like the O-line was awful for the Texans.
It is. It's arguably the worst offensive line in the league. I don't know exactly where I rank it, but it's somewhere around where the Dolphins and the Giants are. It's just not good.
Yeah, there's no story here. This is why we didn't start talking about Thursday Night Football till about now, because that's how bad it was. But hey, listen, that also means the football only gets better from here. Rough Rob says Carolina picked up a rookie running back named Chuba Hubbard, who was decent in college. Please tell me that's true.
His name is pronounced Chuba Hubbard, but yes.
Chuba Hubba. I want Chuba Hubba. It's not Chuba Hubbard. It's Chuba Hubba. I like that. I'm going to go get him in fantasy football just so I can have a guy named Chuba Hubba on my bench.
Yeah,
I'm not going to play him.
He was at Oklahoma State. He's real good.
Chuba Hubba. Chuba? Chuba is a fun name too.
I kind of like the way his name is actually pronounced. That's pretty fun too. Chuba Hubbard.
Just Chuba by itself's fun, but Chuba Hubba is much more fun for the alliteration's sake. Randy, which way do you go on this?
No, I'm going Chuba Hubba because it reminds me of Bubba Hubba.
That's right.
Bubba.
Hubba. Chuba Hubba.
I'm gonna work on this list, Randy, that we kind of started last week while Jeffrey was sick. The all name team. I'm gonna put together the all name team. Find the best names in football, and then have a starting 11 of offense and defense of the best names.
You know what we do? And you know what we do? We get 36 of those names, and then we have a bracket challenge to find the all NFL name.
There you go.
And I think Chuba Hubba is going to get pretty far in that.
I think so. Yeah.
888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, "Whoa, Keon! I said Texans line was bad. No need to bring the Dolphins into this, pal."
Yeah, look, I'm sorry to go there, but I'm just saying that they have a bad line too. It's in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Ukla says, okay, Indy fan, how can you talk about winning games? Well, I know nothing about winning games. Chief Skull got upset with me on Twitter. He's like, where is the positivity in this town? Not here. I'm already, listen, in good times, I'm a self-hating Colts fan. I'm always apprehensive. In bad times, what do you expect me to do? Cartwheels? Come on, we're going to lose. And so he's like, hey, guess what? Carson Wentz is practicing. I'm like, so what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. It's going to be the same thing no matter what. We're going to lose this game. I don't know what game we're ever going to win. That's the way I feel about it. That's the way I honestly feel about it right now.
And
things
how
are
do you
just
feel
bad in Indy.
How are you going to feel about it this weekend if the Colts beat the Rams?
Oh, I'll be happy about it. Wait, the Colts aren't playing the Rams this weekend.
I thought they were playing the Rams this week.
They're playing the Titans.
Yeah.
No.
If they
the Rams are playing the Packers.
How happy are you going to be if they beat the Titans?
I'd be thrilled if they went this weekend and beat the Rams, just like unexpectedly out of nowhere.
Yeah, just
the Rams look to their left. They're like, oh, God. And here comes the entire team at them. We did not see that coming.
The Bucks are playing the Rams.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't mean to be a big poopy pants or anything, but I'm just not feeling good about my team right now. This whole quarterback situation.
It's
why you're always grouchy.
All the different approaches you can take to your team sometimes, you know?
So let's change the subject. I don't want to talk about it. I want to be in a better mood when our friend from Beeson comes in here and gives you some good bets for the weekend, Matt Humans. So let's do this. It's time for your man of the day. The name Caleb Wagner is a name that you might want to remember. You might want to store that away in your memory. And if nothing else, he'll do well in college. Don't know if he'll make it to the NFL, but then again, others have. What I'm talking about is Caleb Wagner has broken Derrick Henry's high school rushing record. That's right. He has had a 535-yard game. Now, I know you're thinking,
wow,
it must have been some sort of weird blowout, so it was easy. No, this was a game that came down to 1 point. It was 49-48. So he needed every one of those yards, 535. And here is the other part that is interesting. He did it with only one hand.
What?
That's right. He only has one hand. And now, if you've ever carried a football as a running back, you have to change hands, and then people are trying to punch that ball out. You see it happen all the time. But he was able to get it done, breaking Derrick Henry's single game performance record, 535 yards against a good team. There's nothing you can do to tear this performance down or make, come on, but nothing. This kid is an amazing running back. Put that name in the back of your head for, at the very least, college. I don't want to just blow smoke up your ass and tell you, this guy's going to the NFL. A lot happens between high school and the NFL, but right now he's absolutely the man and the man of the day.
Isn't that great?
That's huge.
Shaquem Griffin got in, but that's defense. That's a little bit different. Playing defense with only one hand is a little bit different. But I don't know. I don't know if a one-handed running back would actually be able to get it done in the NFL. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I absolutely don't know.
I don't know either, but it sounds like he's got a shot because, I don't know if you've ever seen any highlights of Derrick Henry playing in high school. It looked like a group of kids trying to tackle a building. Like it didn't make any sense. So for him to be able to break that record, that's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Seriously, you got to give him credit. Now, he did have some interaction with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's like, hey, buddy, good job. I'm sending you a jersey. So it was all happy and all that. But I'll tell you what, this kid, it's not just that he's trucking people. Because, in fact, if you watch any of the tape of what he did, he's just fast and he's smart. And he knows how to make a hole, and he knows how to make a brick wall into a hole. He knows how to hit the right timing on a burst of speed. He knows when to go left when it's time to go left. He goes right when it's time to go right. And he does what needs to be done. And no, fish tank, he's not going to be very good in the PPR, is he? Can he catch? I don't know. I'm thinking probably not so well.
He says, be rough to have a running back the defense knew would not be catching a leak pass. Well, you know what? So I wouldn't put anything past him. Just because he's got the one hand doesn't mean he might not surprise you. I'm going to say, common sense says probably not.
Not to further compare him to Derrick Henry, but that's not exactly a strength in Derrick Henry's game either. Like if they just can't, if they can't bring you down or they can't catch you, really doesn't matter.
Yeah. So for at least now, Caleb Wagner, your man of the day, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far he takes it. Keep an eye on this kid. College for sure. Let's see what happens next.
Is he a senior? Did you say it? A senior?
Let me check here. I did. I actually speak amongst yourselves, and I will find it.
Amongst yourselves.
I mean, I don't. That's a incredible feat though, because I remember watching lots of the highlights of what Derrick Henry was doing, and when you looked at it, it literally made your mind boggled. You couldn't understand how a person that big was playing football with all of these other tiny people, and B, actually a high school student.
Somebody else is going to have to look it up because this piece of paper doesn't say it, but it wasn't in the story that I was reading.
Wow.
So, anyways, that really wasn't a focal point, if you know what I mean. 888-368-1580. No, the Jet. He can't clap as they leave the huddle. Well, he just hit his helmet.
Sure, he could. Why couldn't he?
Yeah. What's he going to clap?
He's going to clap his hand on his arm. Why not?
Like this?
Yeah. Why not?
You go. Moist One says, how's his stiff arm? Well, I'm sure both are good. Boogie says, if Carson Wentz falls down in the middle of a forest and no one's around to hear him fall, does his leg still make a snapping sound? Every single time. King Kitten says, it's Tom Brady's first ever game in Los Angeles. Plus.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
Plus, Randy, it was an absolute beautiful morning. Clouds, little breeze, cool temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
Then this afternoon, it's hot out here in the sun. So is it going to rain this weekend? Is it going to rain?
Well, from the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center Chief Meteorologist Randino Lightino coming at you live with all the latest in the weather situation. 92 degrees currently under somewhat cloudy skies. There was some rain in the forecast for this weekend. I'm not sure if we're going to make it in. Had a chance this afternoon over on the west side of town by the compound here. Thought it was going to get some rain, but that didn't work. 50% chance is what the outlook is right now of thunderstorms on Sunday, 81 for the high. But I want you guys to focus on the overnight lows. Low 70s, 60s, mid 60s.
Nice.
It's getting to be fall time here
About
in the
damn
valley.
time.
Yeah, 92 degrees currently from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeff Cook.
Well done, Randy. And by the way, if we don't have another 100-degree temperature between now and whenever, then that means summer's over.
Yeah.
And the first day of fall for everybody else was the other day. But I can't say it's official till, what do you say, a couple more weeks of this or what?
Sometime in December. Yeah.
December? Come on, man. It's
fall
October.
to start here in Arizona.
By
the way, if you like the ryegrass, winter grass, you probably can start scalping and planting your ryegrass now.
You think so already? I thought I was going to give it a couple of weeks.
No, it's good to go now. You want those daytime temperatures to still be warm, but you don't want it as hot in the evening. So now that it's starting to drop down to the low 70s, mid 60s, get your seed in the ground as soon as you can.
All right. Well, mother-in-law is 84 years old. We're going to get her out there working on that.
That's
this
good.
Weekend,
That's
gonna
good.
Get her out there, let her scrape it.
Put her
let
on
do
that.
all the work.
Put her on that self-propelled lawnmower.
Yeah,
She'll do just fine. Yeah.
No, the door stays locked until you're done. You could drink out of the hose. You could drink out of the hose. Okay, she can't hear me through the door. I ain't open it. Not falling for that again. She'll come right in. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We'll have Matt Humans from Beeson, and he's going to give you some ideas on how to bet this weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 43rd Ryder Cup, sponsored by the NFL. Download the NFL app today in your app store and watch live, local, and primetime NFL games this season. I'm Erica Herskowitz. The U.S. took 3 of 4 matches in foursomes this morning and is now leading Europe 5.5 to 1.5 after winning the first and third matches in 4-ball and tying match 2 on a big birdie finish from Tyrell Hatton.
Back through with the putter. Ball up to the cup. And a huge fist pump as it drops. Europeans win 18. This match tied. What a match this was today.
Mark Ball with the call on Westwood 1. John Rahm and Tyrell Hatton rallied to steal a half a point from Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler. They went the distance, ended up tying the second match of the day. And a full point is hanging in the balance in match 4. The Europeans led most of the way until the 16th when Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay tied things up against Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. And after tying 17, they are playing the 18th.
Thursday Night Football is only on NFL Network.
It's game time. Let's get it.
We're here for a battle between number 1 picks.
This guy, he's really something.
Trevor Lawrence makes his Jaguars primetime debut.
Fires, pass is caught.
But Joe Burrow and the Bengals are ready to steal the show.
And that is a touchdown.
Jaguars, Bengals. Week 4 starts here.
Wow, that kid can play.
Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8, only on NFL Network.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
It's time again for the Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic NFL Pick'em Contest. Send your picks each week to see if you are this year's best game picker. Sign up at 1580thefanatic.com. Play against the Fanatic Air Staff and all the listeners. You can score the grand prize of $1,580 or the second place prize of $500. Provided by our friends at Harmon Solar. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com. The Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Exclusively from your home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56 in Arizona.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, the Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. That's right. This weekend, we have long-form coverage for you for the Ryder Cup as America whoops Europe's ass at golf. Then, of course, on Sunday Night Football, you got the Packers at the 49ers. Monday Night Football, Eagles at Cowboys. All of that is right here on 1580, the Fanatic. Joining us right now from VSiN is an editor and host of The Edge. He's also a betting contributor for ESPN and the New York Post, and his name is Matt Humans. How you doing, Matt? Thanks for joining us here on the Daily Blender.
Hey, doing great. By the way, I was down in your neighborhood in August playing golf, and man, I can't count how many great golf courses are in Phoenix, even more than in Vegas. Vegas has got about 30 of them.
You madman. What are you doing golf in Arizona in August? I mean, how much weight did you lose just walking down the court in that heat? The course, I'm sorry.
Well, I can stand to lose a few pounds because I'm 6'4" and about 250. So losing a few pounds doesn't hurt me in the summer. And I got to tell you what, I love the heat. I love to play golf in the heat. It scares a lot of people away, and you don't have as much traffic on the course. And that's one thing I love desert golf in the summer in Vegas and Phoenix. And you get to play so many great courses, and you play them at discount rates. I mean, it's tough to beat. That's an advantage play for a gambler.
I get the value on that, but be careful. I mean, we've got idiots going up into the mountains almost every year from out of town, dying. So whatever you do, make sure you keep the drink cart girl nearby, if you know what I mean, to make sure you don't dehydrate out there. Well, Matt, as you know, Arizona just got legalized on some betting and some betting apps and stuff like that. So everybody's got gambling fever. So do you have any advice for some of these newbie gamblers out there who are just rushing out there without any idea what they're doing, trying to start getting involved with it?
Yeah, first thing I would say is it's going to be basic advice is manage your bankroll wisely. Don't get too over anxious. Don't over bet. Don't play too many parlays, things like that. If you're going to survive as a sports bettor, and I realize some people like to do it for entertainment and just have fun and play, 5-team parlays, 8-team parlays, try to turn a matchstick into a lumberyard, bet a little to win a lot. And that's okay if you're just doing it for fun. But if you're serious about making money, you got to focus primarily on straight bets. You don't bet teasers in college football. You can bet teasers in the NFL. Teasers can be a really good bet in the NFL. You just have to make as many smart bets as you can every week. Don't chase your losses, and hopefully you come out ahead of the game at the end. But it's very difficult. I'm not going to lie. I would say that 5% of the people who bet sports can win over the course of a season, maybe 10% at the most. But it's not many, and that's because a lot of people just don't have the discipline to stick to the principles that you have to be a winner.
Well, Matt, understand we are newbies around here. I mean, Keon's done some online sports betting back when he was on the East Coast. But you had a term earlier. I'm not familiar. What's a teaser?
A 6-point teaser. If you play in the NFL, let's say you take the Arizona Cardinals this week and you knock them down to -1.5. So you can play 2 teams, you can play 3 teams. You really don't want to go beyond 3 teams on a teaser, but you can play the Cardinals -1.5. You can knock the Browns down to -1.5. So you can knock 6 points off both lines. You can play the Chiefs. You can play them down to -1. Obviously, both sides got to win. The Cardinals have to cover the 1.5. The Browns got to cover the 1.5. Or the Chiefs got to cover the 1. Whether you play a 2-teamer or a 3-teamer, but that can be a good way to bet the NFL if you want to play it that way. Teasers are not bad bets in the NFL. They are bad bets in college football. But that's if you're putting it in, it would be like a 2-team 6-point teaser where you could knock 6 points off each favorite.
It's Matt Humans from VSiN with us. And, listen, Moist One is on the text line, has a question for you. It says, what's the longest you've ever edged?
Ever edged? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It was his question, and I don't know anything about gambling. So I just figured he knew what he was asking. Thanks a lot, Moist One.
Surfing term or a skiing term or what? But, the name of our show on VSiN is The Edge, and it's about finding an edge in gambling. So I'm not exactly sure what that. I'm a little older. I'm in my late 40s, so maybe that's a term that the kids use that I'm not hip to. I thought you would know.
Well, you're already not making friends here. I'm 50, so shut up. 888-368-1580. All right, so going into this weekend, if you take a look at, let's just, for instance, again, look at the simplified ideas of betting for some of the newbies. ASU and Colorado. How would you bet that one?
I think you can lay the 14 with Arizona State. This should be a breakout game for the Sun Devils, and I was against Arizona State last week. I watched the first 2 games against really weak competition. UNLV is a bad football team. I didn't like the lack of urgency that the Sun Devils were playing with on offense. Jaden Daniels was not playing with much sense of urgency. The Arizona State was running the play clock down to 5 minutes, looking to the sideline, changing plays, snapping it late in the clock, just running a slow-paced offense. And I didn't understand why Arizona State was a favorite of BYU last week. Right. Now, I think that loss is going to maybe readjust their attitude a little bit, and you're going to see Arizona State play a little bit better this week. And on the flip side, you got a Colorado team that's abysmal offensively. This is one of the worst offenses in college football. So I think this is where the Sun Devils get their act together and they roll. They should roll by 3 or more touchdowns. I have not bet the game yet, but I've got that on my list of things to consider. This weekend's Arizona State laying the points against Colorado.
Yeah, you can't sleep on them Mormons. You know what I'm saying? And so ASU got their bell rung, and now they got to figure this thing out. So now, Matt, when you're sitting there in the privacy of your own betting kingdom, and you like to do, what kind of bets do you like to do? Do you do parlays? Do you do simple things? Do you do over under? What is your favorite way to bet?
I make a lot of straight bets. I mean, 90% of what I bet is just a straight bet. It'll be like this week it'll be like Notre Dame plus 6.5 over Wisconsin, or Western Kentucky plus 9.5 over Indiana, Western Michigan minus 2.5 over San Jose State. Let's see, I've got Arkansas plus 6 over Texas A&M, in the NFL, I like the Patriots. I bet a -2.5 over Patriots -2.5 over the Saints this week. Mostly I stick to straight bets. Occasionally I will play teasers in the NFL. Like I said, I play 2 team teasers. I don't go to 3. I did play a teaser this week in the NFL, starting with last night's game, where I bet the Panthers, knocked that down to -1.5, and I teased the Panthers with the Browns at -1. I played a separate teaser this week on the Chiefs, but I'm not sure what I'm going to tease the Chiefs to yet. I'll either tease it to the Cardinals -1.5 or the Rams up to +7.5 against the Bucs. But I don't bet teasers in any sport but the NFL. 90% of the time, straight bets, a few teasers, and occasionally maybe a money line parlay instead of a teaser. But straight bets essentially the way to go for me, and I think that's typically the best strategy to follow if you're going to win.
So now everybody who's an expert, no matter if it's betting, if it's sports, if it's football, if it's baseball, they always become insufferable homers and make huge mistakes when it comes to their own personal teams. How do you handle your team? And by the way, let's say for the NFL, who's your team? Is it the Vegas Raiders now?
Yeah, you know, what's interesting is I spent 20 years in the newspaper business as a beat writer. I covered the Chicago Bears, the White Sox, the Bulls in the late 90s. I covered Big Ten and Notre Dame football. And then when I moved out to Vegas, I covered UNLV basketball. I did cover the Raiders before I left to go to VSiN when they were making the move from Oakland to Vegas. But I'm not like a cheerleader. I think when I was a kid growing up, my favorite team was the Cowboys. I no longer care if the Cowboys win or lose on a weekly basis. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Yeah, I'd like to see the Raiders do well because they're the local team, but I'll bet against the Raiders just as often as I bet on them.
Right.
So I think being in the media helps you kind of form a habit of being neutral on things like this. And I just don't really have favorite teams where I root for on a weekly basis. Whoever I got my money on this week, that's my favorite team. You know what I mean?
There you go. Well, that's the way you have to think about it. And I've told these people here that listen to the Daily Blender, hey, you can't take it personal. If you are doing picks, if you are playing fantasy football, and of course now, if you are legally betting here in Arizona, you can't be precious about your own team, or you can miss out on a win, or you could miss out on some money. So that right there shows you. Matt Humans from VSiN, professional gambler type, he knows what he's talking about. And you are probably the first person that I've talked to who has not been an insufferable homer about their own team. So that is the difference between winning and losing in the long run, right?
I think it can be a difference. I mean, there are a lot of differences between winning and losing for people. Bankroll management and your attitude about it is the number one thing. But yeah, you can't be. I see this in Vegas a lot, where the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team have been good the last couple of years, really good, and people just bet on them blindly every game. But the thing is, if you follow a team like this closely, you can have a sense when they're not going to play well, when they're going to lose. You can't be afraid to bet against your favorite teams. And in fact, I think sometimes people should look at it this way: hey, if my favorite team loses, at least I profit. So maybe you should bet against your favorite team more often if you feel like you're in a bad spot. And I'll say one thing about the Arizona Cardinals this week, and then why I'm a little uneasy about betting the Cardinals even on a teaser is it's not a very good spot for the Cardinals. And I like this team a lot. I think if you think back a couple of years, Cliff Kingsbury, how smart was he when he said, hey, Josh Rosen, we're going to cut you loose, and we're going with Kyler Murray. Cardinals have one of the most exciting offenses in the NFL, but this is not a good scheduling spot. They're coming off 2 big games, blowout of the Titans, the game against the Vikings went to the wire, and then look what they have on deck. So the Cardinals got a trip to the Rams. They got a game against the 49ers, 2 big NFC West games on deck. So this is kind of a flat spot for the Cards on the road this week. And that's why I don't think they're a very good bet this week.
Wow. Okay. So are you talking about covering or just winning against the Jaguars?
I'm just talking about laying the 7.5. That's what I said. If you're going to bet the Cards, I would put them on a teaser where they just got to cover the 1.5. I have a feeling this is going to be a closer game than some people think. Right now, the Jaguars are down. A lot of times in gambling, you got to buy on bad news. When everybody hates a team and everything seems negative, that's the time sometimes when you want to bet on that team. And right now, the Jaguars there's a lot of negativity surrounding that situation with Urban Meyer. They're going to rise up and play a good game here and there. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens this week, just because, like I said, the Cards are in an emotional flat spot this week on the road. And then, hey, DeAndre Hopkins might not play. I don't know what the latest news is, but you take your Hopkins out of the offense, that makes a difference too.
Just a Tip is on the text line, 888-368-1580. Says, do you ever follow off-field issues that players or teams have? And if so, what type of importance do you put on those?
Not that much. I think you can't get caught up too much in the soap opera aspect of sports. So if you listen to typical sports talk shows, that type of stuff dominates the talk. I don't think that has much of an influence on betting or anything like that. Somebody asked me last week, would you bet the Seahawks? Would you consider betting the Seahawks? Because Russell Wilson's best friend and, personal business manager died last week, and he was emotional about it. And I said, I don't see why that would be any reason to bet the Seahawks. I don't even know why you would consider that angle. That's not going to help the Seahawks win or raise Russell Wilson to play like at an amazing level. In terms of off-field troubles, if you have multiple guys on a team who get in trouble off the field in a week of a game, maybe that's something. But no, I rarely consider things like that.
So, Matt Humans from Beeson, do you have an Achilles heel, or do you have like a team or a situation where you're like, damn it, every time that gets me? And do you have anything like that?
Everybody's got one. That's why you asked me. I think we all have weaknesses, and it's your job as a handicapper, if you want to get better, to look in the mirror and understand what your weaknesses are and try to get better. And throughout the season, there will be a team. I don't know who it is yet. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked, because in the past couple of years, the New York Giants have been one of my Achilles heels. I played on the Giants, and they would lose. I'd bet them again. They would lose. Just drive me nuts. I'd bet on them, against them. I'd be on the wrong side. I don't have a team yet. I'm off to a really good start this season. So there has not been one team that's bedeviled me yet or has really ticked me off on a weekly basis. But I'm sure that team's going to come to the forefront here within the next few weeks. I hope not, but that's usually the case. If you have a team that you can't figure out and that you tend to be on the wrong side of, on or against, you got to avoid that team. And we're all stubborn. We're all trying to figure out ways to beat that team, or you just got to get away from it. Usually there's one or two teams in college football or a team or two in the NFL that does that to you. And, we all get a little bit too stubborn to try to beat that team, and you're best off just trying to stay away from it. That's a good question.
Well, look, I know we got to let you go so you can place some bets and stuff, but do you have any inside tips for the listening audience here on 1580 The Fanatic, Matt? Do you have any suggestions for us this weekend?
I got a lot of college football games I played this week, and I mentioned a few to you on the way out. I think that like you said, Arkansas is going to be live to beat Texas A&M on Saturday, and Texas A&M's played a cupcake schedule up to this point. The Aggies are also playing their number 2 quarterback, Zach Calzada. Their starter, Haynes King, is out. He's their number 1 quarterback. He makes a big difference. You probably saw Texas A&M struggle to beat Colorado a couple weeks ago when Haynes King went out. This Arkansas team's legit. 333 yards rushing against Texas a couple weeks ago. Outgained the Longhorns by more than 200 yards. This is a physical running team that Sam Pittman has built here in the past couple of years. As a bettor, I think you got to look for these teams that are on the rise, a little bit under the radar, undervalued on the betting line. Right now, I think Texas A&M is overrated and Arkansas is underrated. I took Arkansas +6. I think the Razorbacks got a great shot to win that game straight up. That's on a neutral field in Arlington, Texas on Saturday. Arkansas whipped Texas 40-21 a couple weeks ago. Why not Texas A&M? I think it could happen again. So I played Arkansas. I played Kansas State to take down Oklahoma State. I played Western Kentucky +9 over Indiana. Hoosiers are in a bad scheduling spot. I played Utah State +9.5 against Boise. That's Saturday morning. That's an early kickoff on the West Coast. Also played Western Michigan -2.5 over San Jose, and Notre Dame I took to 6.5 over Wisconsin. That's another early start tomorrow at Soldier Field in Chicago. I played the Patriots -2.5 over the Saints. I think the Saints are probably the most overrated team in the NFL right now. Plus, they've been away from home for a month. They got COVID and injury issues. And Bill Belichick, I don't think he's going to lose back-to-back home games. And I mentioned the Rams. If you're looking to play a teaser this week, look at the Rams. Knock them up to +7.5, or knock the Cardinals down to 1.5. Look at the Browns. Look at the Chiefs. If you like NFL teasers, those are 4 teams you could play on teasers, I think, and have a lot of success this weekend.
Matt Humans from VSiN, thank you so much for being with us. And, this great state of Arizona is prime for betting education and betting fun. Listen, thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you again soon.
Hey, anytime. I love the state of Arizona. Thanks.
All right, there you go. Matt Humans from VSiN. He's an editor over there and also the host of The Edge. It's on their network, 1 p.m. Pacific. And you can also see him out there on the New York Post and ESPN as a contributor. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you why you should never have sex in a car parked on a hill. This is Man Talk, and it's important information, and you need to hear it. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer. And your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
You might not know it, but your small business IT systems can leave you and your customers vulnerable. At Affinity Technology, we provide peace of mind by ensuring your computer systems are working and are safe from hackers and outside threats. We solve technology problems for small business. No confusing tech talk or black box setups. If it plugs in, we work with it. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
The games, the players, the coaches.
We know what you want.
That's why we serve them up. Your exclusive home for NFL football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And guys, we got to learn gambling because I had no idea what the hell we were talking about most of that segment.
Well, I think what we should do is explain to Matt what edging is, according to Moistman.
Well, now it turns out on the text line that may be a sexual term, and I didn't know that either. Big George says, I think edging is a sexual thing, Jeffrey. Ban moist one from the text line.
I mean, he must have slipped one in there if it's coming from the moist one.
Yeah, let's see if I'm reading what Big George sent me. I don't know if I can say it out loud.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how am I supposed to know that? I don't know betting terms. At least we told Matt Humans that when we got him on. But no more trusting Moist One when we have an actual guest on. We do that so seldomly that I guess I forgot myself on that. You know what we ought to do, guys? Here's what I think we ought to do. This might be a way for us to educate ourselves. Now, Keon has the edge because he does occasional online stuff. He used to do that back east. But Randy, we say we take a pretend $1,000 for each of us. A pretend
$1,000. Okay.
And we bet that, like we have like 3 bets a week or something like that. And it's just a contest between the 3 of us to see who can make the most money. But it has to be sort of, restricted to a certain type of betting and then maybe just in the NFL. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, I think that's a great idea, and I'd be happy to do that. I'm still trying to figure out how he just changes betting lines. I don't know, change it. It's supposed to be -7. I'm going to make it -1. How do you do that? Blows my mind. How do you just walk in there and say, I'll take the Cardinals at -1?
I don't know exactly how it works, but I think the idea is that once you're combining multiple teams, it's already difficult to hit on multiple games. So the line moves down for you to be able to bet, I'm going to go take the Browns, I'm going to take the Chiefs, and I'm going to take the Cardinals.
I took the Browns, Super Bowl, last 2 days.
Very, very convincingly, by the way.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't worry, dropping the soap. I ain't falling for that one. I can't even read what he said. 888-368-1580. Hey, can you explain? Listen, come on. That only works once on me. Rough Rob says, I think Moist One meant hedging bets. No, he didn't. He didn't mean that.
Because that's not what he said.
Because he's a filthy bastard.
We know Moist One because that's just his MO.
And somewhere in town, the Moist One is still laughing about it.
Fair enough. You did get me. And the guy, the way he was laughing, that Matt Humans, I think he knew what that meant.
I think Matt Humans, quite frankly, tap danced an amazing dance to get around that. He said, I don't know what that means. And then
he may never be on with us again.
Yeah, well,
at his choice, basically.
These guys in Phoenix are crazy.
Yeah, click. Okay. By the way, listen, in Man Talk, I think it's important we all hear this. I don't mean to interrupt the broadcast with this sort of Man Talk, but this is a health and safety issue, ladies and gentlemen, that we all need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of different factors to this. To avoid injury, don't have sex in a compact car. You're going to get a crick in the neck. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to get a parking brake or a shifter somewhere. You don't want it. Don't do that. And second, don't have sex in a car parked on a hill.
I could see the reasoning there. Yep.
Do you see?
This seems like good sense.
We have the benefit of experience in life. Not everybody knows this, but yeah, a couple in Northern England drove to a secluded area in their Toyota Yaris. And that is a teeny little car.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually the smallest one Toyota makes. And they parked it where they knew nobody would see them. But while they were going at it, somebody accidentally hit the emergency brake, turned it off. Car starts rolling down the hill.
Oh, boy.
He got to speed and flipped over a couple times. They weren't hurt, which is kind of incredible since they weren't buckled in, right?
Right.
The car ended up on its side, right in the middle of the road down below.
Technically, they weren't buckled in. I mean,
they were strapped to each other.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't get out either because the thing was on its side and kind of bashed up there. So they had to be rescued by the police.
Oh, boy.
I get the couple explained to the cops, we were just trying to strengthen our relationship. Yeah. Okay, listen, you want to go have sex in a car? Knock yourself out as long as nobody sees, right? You do what you got to do. Have your fun. Have your fun. You're not the anti-fun police. But for your own health and safety, don't do it on a hill.
Yeah.
With the parking brake on there, and don't do it in a teeny little car.
I mean, at the very least, before the rockets red glare, get out of the car and block the wheels with rocks, logs, whatever it takes.
Lacrosse guy says, fellas, a teaser bet is where you get 6 points on 2 bets to tease the lines. He's going to give you an example, but I feel like we're still not getting it.
Okay.
For example, Cardinals -1, Tampa +5. You must win both bets to win. It's actually harder than you think. Not that I've experienced it. Okay, I see. So you get to choose, though. Like I could say
Cards -2, Tampa +4, and they'll let me bet that. And then that's you
But
basically are
Tampa's-
setting your own line with
Tampa's-
a mini parlay.
Right. And Tampa's got to cover the 4 points.
Why would you do that to yourself?
And the Cards have to cover that 1 point or 2 points or whatever you put it at.
Well, you did hear Matt. You shouldn't.
I salute Matt Humans, though, because he's like me, cowboy butt. Give me a straightforward bet. Win, lose, boom, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nondescript says, what is the limit of the flamethrower there? Well, again, guys, keep in mind, we are still doing some technical work on the old flamethrower. And soon, wherever you're at, Nondescript, it'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, there's still guys working on that. At our transmitter site. It's better than it was before, but we're very close to having some stuff redone. It takes help of SRP and that sort of thing. It's not a small thing that's going on over there. So hang in there with us, Nondescript. Lacrosse guy says, no, you can't choose. It's 6 points in both games. I don't understand what he's talking about. Within 6 points?
See, what we need, if only we had somebody we knew, somebody that is really involved in gambling, that could give us sort of a gambling for what?
No.
What?
No.
You don't even know where I'm going.
Okay.
If only we knew somebody that
Not
could give
him.
us. Who?
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
So give us a primer in somebody that has been on this station and continues, even on the morning show. Hey, well, I'm talking about that guy on the morning show. What's his name?
Sweet Lou?
Sweet Lou. If only we could employ him somehow to give us a primer.
Well, I mean, I bet Matt would do that for us. I mean, Sweet Lou, he just does the morning show. I don't think he's going to help us.
I bet he would. If we asked him, I bet if we tweeted out to Sweet Lou right now, I bet he would help us out.
We need education. Is what
He needs to give us a primer, sort of a betting for dummies, if you will.
But I think if we were to have a little competition between the three of us, no real money involved because,
well, I'll lose.
That would be silly.
And I don't have any. So
I've already lost.
That would be embarrassing.
I'm extremely rich, but I'm not going to do that.
No.
And it wouldn't be fair because, I've got endless supplies of money where you guys clearly do not. How's that fair? So no, it'll be 1,000 fictitious dollars. And then whoever wins, the other two will buy him lunch or something. And right now, the favorite to win would be Keon, just for the simple fact that he's actually gambled real money before.
Keon, I'll buy you lunch if you just teach me gambling so I can at least compete.
Okay, I can clearly be.
He's not going to help you. He's trying to beat you. He's, you can't do that.
Virtual handshake, Keon. Virtual handshake, and it's
that
done.
ain't right.
There you go.
Well,
I'm getting tips from Keon.
I'm getting tips from Lacrosse guy. He says, "Let's meet at Hobnob. I'll help you out." Yeah, okay, maybe we will. See how you like that? How you like them apples, guys?
Perfect.
Me out in the cold.
Perfect. We're gonna meet him at Hobnob.
Rough Rob says, "Just ask Bruce for gambling advice."
Oh no.
He does not dress like a guy who wins. Kiss the Cook says, a little Yaris got him in trouble, huh? Sure did. Moist One says, I love teasers, but temptation to blow it all is too strong for me. I could learn from the art of the edge. Okay, stop it. Deflated Balls says, I'm not a fan of Sweet Lou, but again, no, not that guy. We're not doing it.
I wasn't even thinking about whoever you're thinking about. I was thinking about Sweet Lou the whole time.
Just a Tip says, how are you now? Oh, good. And you? Not so bad. There's more than just gambling going on in Vegas, Randy, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney winning in Vegas this weekend. Although I'll never forgive him for forcing David Pearson out of the Wood Brothers team. He's a very talented driver, and he's got a good ride. I think the track is in his favor. What do you think? And may I get an Evan Williams small batch neat, please, and thank you.
There's your Evan Williams for you. And Ryan Blaney did nothing of the sort. David Pearson left the team and went on to bigger and better things. However, I appreciate your racing history, bringing up the Silver Fox all the time. I think Blaney is a good bet. I've chosen him as my outside type of guy to win this thing, from the outside, sort of that sort of that long shot to win the championship. And Ford, by the way, a little FYI for everybody out there, Ford has won 4 of the past 7 races at Las Vegas. So there you go. As you head into the Las Vegas race this weekend, which will be spectacular, race number 1 in the series of 12, the round of 12 for the NASCAR playoffs, you can look for a Ford to win. Many people will say it might be Kevin Harvick, but I guess you'll have to wait till 6 o'clock when the race setup is on this very radio station, and Chief and I will talk about it.
Yeah, you sure told them, Randy.
There's a tease for you.
There's the teaser on the edge of this hour. Did I use the term right? I don't think so. Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We have 1 hour left of the Daily Blender. Then there's an hour of the race setup with Randy White. And then, of course, you got the high school football coming up a little bit later on as well. Ironwood Ridge versus South Point Catholic. All that stuff is, it's here on the radio station called 1580 The Fanatic. Yeah, we'll be back, I think.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun, too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 43rd Ryder Cup. I'm Erica Herskowitz. The United States took 3 of 4 matches in foursomes this morning and leads Europe 6-2 after winning the first and third matches in 4-ball and tying match 2 and 4.
For par on the 18th and to end this match in a tie. Justin Thomas back through. That is into the cup, a half point for each side. No matter how you look at it, it has been a great day for the Americans.
John McGinnis, the call on Westwood One. Match 4, a nail-biter after trailing most of the way. Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay tied things up on the 16th, and after tying the 17th, they ended up settling for the tie with Tommy Fleetwood and Victor Hovland. Earlier, Dustin Johnson and Xander Schauffele defeated Paul Casey and Bernd Wiesberger 2-1 in the first match of the afternoon session. In match 2, Tyrell Hatton birdied the 18th, so he and John Rahm stole a half point from Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler, and the Americans won match 3 behind Tony Finau and Harris English.
Slow is just right if you're on vacation, a sloth, or describing QuickBooks. More like slow books. It sucks you in and slows you down with manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays that leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Now is the time to make the switch to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 financial system. Because NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. It's everything you need to grow all in one place. With NetSuite, you can automate your processes and close your books in no time, no matter how big your business grows. Failing the switch to NetSuite will leave you stuck trying to make sense of your books while your competitors sprint ahead. 93% of surveyed businesses increased their visibility and control since switching to NetSuite. And right now, special financing is back. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program only for those ready to switch today. Head to netsuite.com/golf right now. Get special financing at netsuite.com/golf. netsuite.com/golf.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Hi, everybody. It's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I don't feel so bad about what Moist One did to me when we were interviewing Matt Humans from Beeson earlier, because then I just saw what happened to the Browns on Twitter. Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh, man.
No, what happened?
So this guy tweets out to the Browns, I know you guys lost, but is there any chance Owen could get a jersey? And so I guess somebody from the Browns tweets to him, let's do it. Owen who? And Brian Campbell says, Owen 1, go Steelers. Ah! I was like, oh my God.
Wow. The stones on that guy.
Blocked.
Wow.
Just brutal. Anyway, so
that wasn't even inappropriate. It was just hurtful.
Yeah, that just that happened on September 12th. So 888-368-1588. Deflated Balls says, the show is a lot better with Keon, but come on, man. You had some good radio with the old horse killer and Kaler and Phil. Yeah, whatever. He pretty much sucked is what he said. Deflated Balls, we don't need to do a running commentary on everybody. Everybody who's been through here has had value. Everybody who's been through here has contributed to make the show what it is today. So let's not look backwards and be mean. Let's look forward and just appreciate Kaler for what he is. He may be, inappropriate when it comes to Appalachian State and how they treat the other teams.
You mean Keon?
You just called me Kaler.
Yeah.
It does start with a K. So
to be fair. Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah, your name starts with a K. I've called my son here. His name's Keanu. I've called him Keon. So if that makes up for it,
Well, I mean, Keon should now be just highly amazed and completely complimented.
Yeah. It's not like we called you our ex-girlfriend's name in the heat of passion. Okay, so don't be.
I'm not taking it personally. I'm just saying.
Don't be intimidated by the fact that Kaler was 6.5 feet tall. And had a ginormous head. Don't be intimidated by that.
I never saw it, so I don't. There's nothing to be intimidated about.
6.5 feet tall.
Yeah, we love you for who you are. Okay, so don't make it weird.
No, I'm okay.
Bob Schmeldoff says, education time. Philosophy of hedge betting includes placing bets on a different outcome or outcomes subsequent to an original bet in order to create a scenario where there's a guaranteed profit whether the first bet wins or loses. Well, no, we get hedging your bets. We get that. That's not what Moist One was saying. Moist One was just trying to screw with us. But he says, I'll give you an example. You bet on 2 parlays. One parlay is the Cardinals and the Ravens to win straight up and the Giants to win straight up. The Giants are favored, and if you pull off that parlay, betting $20, you win 30. Let's say your second parlay, hedging your back, is the Ravens and the Cardinals winning straight up, and then the Falcons winning. That on a $20 bet pays out 50. Both the Cardinals and the Ravens win straight up are pretty safe bets. Either way, you get back the $20 you bet and the $20 from the other bet. Sounds like I could just not bet and be fine.
I mean, yeah, but
you
where's
won't
the fun
have
in
that. You won't have that extra $20.
True. Mr. Pringle says, I've made a lot of money on gambling. I follow one rule. Always take the under with Kyler Murray. Okay, now, come on, man.
Right. There's your damn
there's
whistle.
going to be some advice for us.
I thought, at least on a Friday, Cardinals are 2-0, that you guys would get off the Kyler Murray small jokes. But no, I can see that you're not. So
you take ahead. The under on that one, I think.
Oh, there you go. That's one for you.
Wait, no, that wasn't.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't even mean that.
No need to explain to me, Jeffco.
I swear, I was talking about whether they would or wouldn't stop.
You didn't
That's
mean
all.
to do it. No, sure, you didn't do it.
It had nothing to do with Tyler.
I didn't think about it.
I'm believing Jeffrey on this. I actually think Jeffrey was just talking about whether or not the texter.
Unintentional. I knew he was talking about a Kyler Murray short joke, but I just happened to say take the under. I'm a clever young man.
Really didn't mean to. I'm not that clever. Jagdog says, I love the teasers. I agree with that expert. Teasers in the NFL only. College teasers are impossible.
Yeah.
College outcomes are impossible to predict. You're never right about half the stuff you bet on.
Shamoy says Sunday we find out if Fields went in the spot or if the Bears stumbled on a steal. I think he means drafted. I think that's what he meant. Drafted. Bruno Baller says, nope, bad Bruno Baller. First Cav Mike says, the guy you had on was very interesting, and he was good on the radio. You should have a weekly slot for him. You know what? We could do it. We need to learn more about gambling, I think, because we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. Dropping the Soap says, so if a car is rolling down the hill, don't bother knocking.
That's good advice. Yep. That's good advice.
Or just get the hell out of the way. Large Mars says, howdy guys. When the fourth dimension complains about the flamethrower, tell him you got a chip problem. Randy spilled nachos on the equipment. That's only happened a handful of times.
Yeah. That we know of.
Yeah. Boomer Sooner says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy Friday. Could I get a cold beer? Could I get a shot? Could I get a little Boomer Sooner taking on the Virginia teams, one of them this weekend at least.
Yeah, I don't have to get passionate about this. Boomer Sooner, Boom Sooner, Boom Sooner, Boomer Sooner. See, I don't think it has to be.
Why not?
I don't have to really motivate, Oklahoma this week with a Boomer Sooner. I'm just doing that for my friend Boomer Sooner.
All right, fair enough. 888-368-1580. Number one Rattlers fan says, Google 6-point teasers, Las Vegas. Well, that's not as much fun as just asking you guys to help.
And I would not do that.
Number one Rattlers fan, you're like, you know what? You're like my mom. Let me tell you why.
Jeez.
No, seriously. Here's the thing. I was like, Mom, I'm bored. She said, go clean your room. Not that bored. Nope, not that bored. Or I'd ask a question. Oh, look it up. We got an Encyclopedia Britannica right over there. And I'd have to go look something up in a book. That was the Google we had back in the day.
Yeah,
was encyclopedias.
I also had those. So that I
from
don't understand.
1958, I swear to God, mine said, and one day man will someday land on the moon. I am not even kidding. That's how old my encyclopedias were.
So mine wasn't that old, no, but it was an actual book, a physical thing with pages in it that you turned and read, and there was ink on it and then letters typed out. Yes.
I never had a book like that. Mine were always just stone tablets, and I had a chisel and a hammer.
Yeah. Mr. Wilbur's were all lumpy and weird feeling. I don't think he's even texted in today. So if he's listening, he's like, wait, what the hell?
What did I do?
Where did that come from? Fed Fan says, I'm doing yard work while listening to you guys. It's beautiful outside. It's not even hot at all right now. Yeah, I walked outside for a minute, and it was pretty nice. So
92 degrees currently. Yeah.
Boogie says, one time I was on a date, and then I had this other girl give me a call. That was my booty call. So what I did was I set up my booty call later than normal to hedge my bet on the date I was on. And it ended up lucky that I hedged my bet on that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the kind of advice you expect to get from Moist One, not Boogie so much.
Yeah. Why,
Bruno Baller says, if your encyclopedias predate moon landing, it's probably time for new encyclopedias.
No kidding.
Now, nobody has them anymore. They're just something to fill up a space on a bookshelf, right? Does anybody have an encyclopedia right now?
No.
It's like a family heirloom or something.
Yeah, no, Google killed it.
Hefty Lefty says, I'd rather Google collegiate tease hers. All right. Fubar 1000 says, I love watching Kyler run around in the field like a little jackrabbit. Why are you trying to piss him off? Justice Hip says, Kyler Murray is a stud quarterback. All right, I got him on 2 of my fantasy football teams, and I know he's going to lead the Cardinals to a Super Bowl win. I can only imagine that after a long hard practice, he likes to go home and have his girlfriend draw him a nice hot sink. Come on, you're Randy's trying so hard not to laugh. Come on, Randy.
Am I?
Come on.
Am I really?
Yes.
Am I
We're
really?
running out. I gotta be honest. You got to be running out of the funny ones. They can't.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the middle finger for just the tip.
There's your trying not to laugh right there.
Boogie says, are there any sports books laying lines on high school football in Arizona? I'm feeling like they don't do that here. I mean, did they do high school football bet?
I don't know.
Right? Nobody's going to do that.
I don't think so.
I was in the deep South where nothing is more important than high school football. And no, there weren't any sports books that were like, let's go ahead and take these two high school. No.
Then I announced the beginning of the Daily Blender sports book for high school betting only.
Let's do it.
That's right. Bring us your bets. Boogie, you like Trevor Brown and North High School? You're going to upset there, maybe Mountain Point. Boom, done. Cook it. I don't know what the odds are, and I really don't know how.
Where
Mr.
is Bob
Handicapper,
Smeldoff?
You're supposed to set the odds here. You're supposed to set them up.
Well, it's Boogie, so the odds are really badly against you. I don't know how this works. We might fail as a sports book.
It's possible,
especially if we start with high school betting. That might be a thing where the government comes and shuts us down immediately.
That's
all
fair.
right. I think I'm going to announce the closing of the Daily Blender sports book.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, it was quick. And Boogie, you owe us money. That's all I know. You owe us money for your bet there.
Somehow you owe us $10,000, Boogie.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me, actually. Hefty Lefty says the lines are made under the bleachers along with answers to Mrs. Pascal's algebra test. Bruno Baller says, regardless of his size, it's not affecting his play. So everybody get off Kyler Murray's back. Yeah. Listen, I agree. Kyle G says, have we decided on a new song to replace that song? Okay.
What do you mean?
You know the song that
about?
I don't ever want to hear them play and talk about.
Country and Western or what?
No, it's just stupid. I ain't talking about it. So that we don't have to have a song. Why do you have to have a song to aggravate me? It's not even necessary. I can't understand why it's
there's
a
song that aggravates you.
There's many songs actually that aggravate me.
I think he's trying to make you say the song.
I ain't saying nothing.
Well, I'm not saying
nothing.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about the song either, so I'm not saying anything.
You don't like the song. Which song is it that you're not happy with? Keon,
shut up, Keon. Shut up, Keon. Keon, shut up, Keon.
No song really.
Keon.
No,
it's Friday, you know. They have half off drinks. What's your favorite drink on a Friday? A tropical drink with something
Keon.
Something in the world of
water. I like water.
How about a nice H2O? Deflated Balls says, there are people out there that'll take high school bets. Maybe not legally, but they'll take them.
Oh, yeah, no, they exist. But there isn't a professional sports book with dignity that's doing it.
So 2454 does not have a texter nickname, but been texting for since June. Says, happy Friday, fellas. Have a great weekend. A great show. Thank you for the compliment, but you need a texter nickname. It bugs me when I see numbers and not names on the screen. You've been hanging with us for the last 3 months. It's about time we bring you into the fold, 2454. So tell us a little bit about yourself there and let us help you become a fully fledged member of the fourth dimension. Randy's got tons of great names in his repertoire. I mean, anything you want.
Absolutely.
Well, at 2454, thank you for the kind words, and let us know if you are interested in a nickname. You can nickname yourself. It's the only time ever that you can give yourself a nickname. The rest of the time, it's usually horrible and somebody making fun of you, and it sucks. So let us know, my friend. Big George says, Randy, can you give me an a weekend traffic advisory update?
No.
Yeah.
Big George, you know better than that. I'm weather. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeffrey is traffic. I'm weather.
Here's what I know. The I-10 eastbound is going to be closed by Randy, at least, from 99th to 75th Avenue from 9 p.m. tonight to 5 a.m. Monday. They're having a pavement improvement project. So, Randy, you might just want to hang out at the house and enjoy your grill. Enjoy your grill.
I don't leave the compound very often.
Yeah. By the way, what are you grilling this weekend?
I don't really have anything on tap, to be honest with you. I've got some work going on around the compound here. You know, I had a couple of trees taken out a couple of weeks ago, and I think the guy is coming. I've got a irrigation leak that I'll be working on. And, I'm not really grilling anything this weekend. I still have stuff left over from my beer can chicken and my pork roast that I smoked last weekend.
As soon as I walk out of this room, my wife intends for me to go ahead and grill tonight. I don't know what I'm grilling, but I said I will do it. Because when somebody says, will you grill? The answer is always yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
That's what a man does.
Good cat. I don't know. No, we were never giving away nachos. That was never even a plan. Why would you think we're giving away nachos?
Somebody falsely accused me of spilling nachos on the transmitter.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, we don't give away nachos. We eat the hell out of them. So, yeah, that's one thing we're going to say no to. Boogie says, so let's reopen and have the grand opening of the 1580 Fanatic Underground High School Sports Book. My bets are still good. No, Boogie, we're not. We're not going to risk it. We're not going to risk it. That's a big fat no on that. Shamoy says, I only had the Farmer's Almanac right there. That's what I've got. And by the way, my strategy for betting is bet $5 on an impossible 12-team parlay at plus 3,000 odds. Haven't hit one yet, but boy, when I do. There you go.
Yeah, it's the first time for everything.
Why not $5 on a parlay when you $2 in a lottery ticket? You know, and the odds are better on that parlay probably if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Scratch me because yes, hilarious, but no. Big George says, thanks for the traffic update, Jeffrey. You should start peddling Dr. Pepper on Twitter like your old traffic reporter does. Yeah, she's an odd one, isn't she? She really is in love with the Dr. Pepper. What was her name? Old Casey, the traffic gal.
Casey Kasem? Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
No, he's dead.
American Top 40.
Good Cat says, I'd like to see a sports book open for bets on fantasy football leagues. Boomer Sooner says, I picked Chandler to win tonight, +7. Okay, stop. This is going to get us in trouble. We are not doing odds. We are not taking bets on high school football. So I'm not reading any more of these texts.
I got that there, Chandler.
The sports book
is don't
closed.
write it down. We
it
can't
is
have
closed.
any evidence. There'll be no evidence.
It never existed. Feds, if you're listening, it never existed. The Blender Sportsbook, it just kaput.
By the way, speaking of things that should have never existed, hell's going on with DK Metcalf's hair.
Wow, look at that.
It was green for a while last year. Now it's like that is the same color as the toilet seat cover my grandma had.
Come on
that
now.
Weird ass blue.
Yeah, back that picture up. I just look at that guy's chiseled frame. He can color his hair any damn way he
care
wants
about his
to.
abs. I'm trying to
I
stop
have
talking
never
about
seen
the hell's on his head.
A more chiseled human being in my entire life.
And
wow.
the reason why that's important is I'm not going up to DK Metcalf to tell him what to do with his hair. He can do whatever he wants.
I'm not going to tell DK Metcalf your hair looks like RV Blue Water.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It looks like that. Yeah, after you've dropped that little thing in the back of the toilet there. It's horrible. It is a horrible look, DK Metcalf. I don't know what you're doing there, but you stop it. And also stop being crazy. He says, yeah, I got to get my emotions in check. He's gotten some taunting calls. He's been a little bit out of control lately. And he says, I'm an emotional person and I'm playing within a competitive edge. Not the edge Moise was talking about. I'm not trying to lose anything, arguments or routes or whatever. He's like, I guess he got into it with Darius Leonard when they played the Colts. And anyways, whatever. To me, the story is about him and his emotions. But this right here, the hair, that is a sign of a guy that's crazy. That's crazy guy hair right there.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like crazy to me. My God, what a wonderfully put together human being.
He's just look, his hair's probably going to be a different color later this season too.
He is. How can you not admire that?
Pretty happy with my wife. So
I'm not a weird way.
Oh, you're breaking up there, Andy. I think you might be,
wow.
I'm not kidding. You were breaking up there, but
wow.
It's been a little awkward right now. I'll be honest with you.
I want to know his workout routine. What's his skincare routine? I want to know all this stuff. DK Metcalf is a god.
Yeah. Do you need a moment, Randy?
No, thank you.
Just okay.
Yeah, put that picture back up there, and maybe.
Now I'm uncomfortable. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
providing you with the latest sports news, commentary, and analysis.
We have a soap opera called The Days of Our Lives. Is that still on the air?
If you keep on,
Days of Our Lives.
We're gonna have General Hospital going on it. That's where you're going.
I guess you only have one life to live, huh? Dale?
That is probably the scariest 30 seconds of radio that we all pop the soap opera there.
Jacobs and Helly on Arizona's new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
After unwrapping the Christmas gift that was a win last week at the hands of the Norsemen, the Cardinals board the big silver jetliner and head to the southeast, to the state of Florida, where they have all gathered to go on a jaguar hunt, hunting for the notorious herd of jaguars, known throughout the lands as one of the most vicious jaguar herds ever. And the Cardinals... You know what? I can't do it. I can't do this. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Can we hold on here? Listen, I can't waste a great rant on this game. Give me the Cardinals 45, Jaguars 3.
The Fanatic. Okay. So, should I start over? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And all right.
Yeah.
Oh, got a little dizzy right there. You know what it's time for? It's time. You wanted some music, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some music because right now, yes, indeed, week 4 in college football is time for Keon's college football dance party. That's right. He wants to dance. Ooh. All right. Keon
Gotta get
is
down.
big Dan in the college football. That's right. And nothing makes him want to put on his boogie shoes like a weekend of college football action. So before we begin, what is the big game for you this weekend in all of college football? What's got your focus?
This weekend, man, I think Matt Humans pointed it out earlier. It's got to be Notre Dame and Wisconsin, a couple of unbeaten teams. They're going head to head. Notre Dame's been really good. Wisconsin's been really good. Notre Dame's quarterback is Jack Cohen. Where was he last? Wisconsin. So you got a little bit of a revenge game going on here too. Him going head to head with Graham Mertz, the quarterback who ultimately replaced him with the Badgers.
All right, Keon. So other big games on the docket this week. In number 22, Fresno State will be facing off against UNLV. It seems to be every season. This game is one that is way close and very competitive. Who you got in that game? Fresno State, UNLV.
Oh, this game's going to be a laugher. Fresno State is going to walk right through you. Yes. Wow. UNLV is so bad. UNLV got destroyed by an ASU team that was not even trying. They weren't trying. ASU did not give their best effort in that UNLV game. I was there. I watched it, and they still got taken apart. Fresno State tries all the time. That's just how they're built and they're constructed, and they're 3-0, and they're about to be 4-0.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be a disgusting game.
Keon's pick there, Fresno State by 175. All right, let's go to Happy Valley Beaver Stadium as Penn State welcomes in Villanova. Villanova is a basketball champion, but is this a trap game for Penn State?
I mean, you got a 3-0 Villanova team coming in. They're undefeated too. Could be a trap game because, Penn State last week, they take on Auburn at home. They had to fight Auburn. They had to fight the referees. If everybody remembers the play where they had their third down taken away, they went from second down to fourth down, and they had to punt for some reason. And they still found a way to come out with a victory in Happy Valley. They'll beat Villanova, but it could wind up being a closer game than a lot of people think.
All right,
Bruno Baller says Wisconsin is not unbeaten. They lost to Penn State.
That's right. No, that's a mistake. Yeah, no, they lost to Penn State early on. That game was close. It was back and forth. No, Bruno Baller's right. Yeah.
All right, two teams that are ranked in the top 20. Texas A&M visits Arkansas. We heard what Matt was talking about, our betting stud. What do you say about this big game? Arkansas sure looks good this year. Texas A&M, are they soft? Are they overrated? Is Arkansas going to put a whooping on them?
Texas A&M's a little overrated. They haven't played anybody really, really difficult. I like their quarterback, Zach Calzada, who who replaced Haynes King, who got knocked out in that Colorado game. But I like him a little bit better than a lot of people do. But I think that people are sleeping on Arkansas right now. Sam Pittman was the offensive line coach at Georgia. He went over and immediately turned Arkansas into a old school, bruising, beat 'em up, power running football team. And then they put their quarterback, KJ Jefferson, back there and ask him to throw the football and make plays. He does. And Arkansas, I think they're going to beat Texas A&M and turn some heads.
All right. Go ahead.
I got a question. Is Arizona still playing football, or did they shut that organization down?
I think that they're still going to attempt to play football against everyone's better judgment. Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's over.
Yeah, they're going to be Scoregan this weekend. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, they're going to beat them up.
All right, Michigan State. They're on kind of a high wave after a win last week. They're going to take on Nebraska. They're welcoming them at Spartan Stadium. Tell me about number 20 Michigan State taking on the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, Michigan State is on a roll right now. I mean, they're undefeated. They're playing really good football. Mel Tucker's a fantastic coach. I think he's proven to be that so far. They get the upset win last week over Miami, even though it didn't feel like an upset. It just felt like Michigan State was the better team the entire time. Just pushed around Miami, even though Miami was supposed to have better players and be better prepared. They just weren't. And Michigan State continues on rolling here, I think, and they get the win.
Okay, so here's one that I'm kind of interested in. Number 11, Florida is welcoming Tennessee. Seems like every time these two teams meet, it's sort of a fun game to watch. What do you expect this weekend when Florida welcomes Tennessee?
I'll be honest with you. This is one of those games where I don't know what the outcome's supposed to be. This is supposed to be a down year for Tennessee. They're being investigated by the NCAA. They just fired a head coach and replaced him with Josh Heupel, who's really good, but he's got a lot of question marks. But I'll give Tennessee a lot of credit. Josh Heupel was supposed to come in and revamp the offense. He's done exactly that. They score a ton of points. And Florida's really good, but Emory Jones, I want to like him better. He doesn't throw the football. He runs a lot. And that means that the door is open a little bit for maybe Tennessee to pull off an upset. I'm going to go with Florida, but I wouldn't be shocked if Tennessee did something absolutely incredible because they've done it to Florida before.
Bob Schmeldoff says, I took Arkansas over Texas, told a lot of people to make their lock. Their lock. I like Arkansas again this week. Take the money line.
I'm a Texas fan. I didn't want to watch that game because I knew what was coming down the pike. They're just not tough. They're just not tough enough to take Arkansas on. And Arkansas, Texas A&M. Texas A&M's a little soft too.
All right, North Carolina is ranked 21. They started out much higher than that in the AP Top 25. This week they traveled to Georgia Tech in the Atlanta Dome there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What do you expect from this North Carolina-Georgia Tech game?
A good game. I think that North Carolina has bounced back. That week one where Sam Howell just looked awful and he was throwing interceptions in every which direction and it didn't look like he knew what to do with the football. They've come back around and they look like the North Carolina a little bit from last year. But this is a good Georgia Tech football team. This is a team that really slowed down and put the clamps on Clemson. I think Georgia Tech could win this game.
Okay. Moist one says, Keon, let's bet. I'll take Texas A&M minus 2.5.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what we're betting.
What are you
exactly.
gonna bet? Yeah,
I don't know what we're betting exactly. I don't have money.
Snickers bar, or what do you like? You like a whatchamacallit? Do you like a almond joy?
I'll
go
Crunch Bar.
Crunch bar. All right, Crunch bar for Keon. Moist one, name your candy bar, and it's a done bet. Go ahead, Randy.
All right, 25th ranked Kansas State is visiting Oklahoma State. They're going to roll into Boone Pickens Stadium there in Oklahoma. I'm not used to seeing Oklahoma State out of the top 25. What's going on in this game, and why is Oklahoma State not ranked?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to State, but because of the fact that by the time I put them up on the schedule to watch, that they were already 0-2. They were in the hole. I don't know exactly what's going on with that team, but it doesn't seem like they have the offensive firepower that they used to have, and I don't feel safe picking Oklahoma State right now.
Okay. All right, UCLA ranked number 24. They're visiting Stanford. Stanford has scored something like 827 points in their last two games. Surprise. This Stanford team was supposed to have a down season. Meanwhile, Chip Kelly has got his Bruins rolling. They're headed into Stanford. What can we look for as we open Pac-12 play?
Well, the Bruins aren't exactly rolling, right? Because they did have that hiccup against Fresno State. And that's a Fresno State team that's absolutely dangerous. But now here, UCLA, they were riding high. They opened the season. They beat LSU. They were talking a lot of trash, and they've kind of come back down to earth a little bit. They have to get right back on track and beat Stanford here. I do think that they do that because they do still have the talent. They run the ball incredibly well. I'm going to go UCLA, but I think it's close.
All right. That's a big pick right there. In other Pac-12 action, California travels to the Alaska Airlines Field at Husky Stadium up in Washington. What do you look for in this game as we continue looking at the Pac-12?
I'm going to take California. It's hard for me to take Washington the way that they have looked this year. They have looked lost, confused, they underachieved. They lose to teams by a lot, quite frankly, that they're not supposed to lose to. I don't think I can trust the Huskies at this particular moment in time. I'm going to go Cal.
All right. South Florida travels to Provo, Utah for another Saturday night game against number 15 ranked BYU. It pains me to say that. As South Florida, the Bulls come rushing in. Do you expect BYU to handle this game easily, or could this be a shootout?
No, they're going to handle it easily for a couple of reasons. We saw with ASU how hard it is to play in Provo. And then they're just more talented. Their quarterback, Jaron Hall, in a lot of ways, he does remind me of Jaden Daniels, the way that he's able to move around. But he's got a big-time arm. He makes big throws. And I just don't think that USF has what it takes to hang with the Cougars.
So the Cougars will roll on and probably move up in the rankings then, I would expect.
I would expect that too. I mean, at number 15, if they continue winning football games and they're undefeated, that's going to be, I think, a story that's a little too hard to resist for a lot of these writers. And B, you're eventually going to have to just allow them up there because they're undefeated.
All right, the dreaded Beavers, but these are not from Minnesota. This is from Oregon State. They're coming to sunny Southern California to take on a bewildered USC team. I don't know what to ask here other than is USC even going to have a chance to win this game, or are they just going to be really sinking to the bottom of the Pac-12?
Well, USC won last week, and I think that they're in that little bit of a space where sometimes teams get a little bit of a high when they change coaches. I know it's an interim head coach, but they get that little coaching change, jump a little bit. Maybe other teams don't know what to expect. The scheme is tweaked some. I think that USC can beat this Oregon State team, but the issue with USC has never been talent. It's always been coaching. So we'll see what the new coaching brings, but I'm going to go USC tentatively to beat Oregon State.
Urban Meyer going to stay on with Jacksonville past this season, or does he take over the head coaching? What's your thought?
My thought is that Urban Meyer stays with Jacksonville, if for no other reason than Bobby Petrino exists. And Urban Meyer is very concerned about his legacy. And I don't think he wants his legacy to be, oh, you quit the NFL after 1 year, just like Bobby Petrino. Yeah, quitter. I don't think he wants that on his resume.
Okay. Another game that we're keeping our eye on, a real tight one, a real barn burner. Yeah, who am I kidding? Number 3, Oregon, Autzen Stadium, home crowd. Up in Oregon, U of A. How bad is this? How bad is this beating going to be?
This game's going to be ugly. This game's going to be ugly. I mean,
could this be the worst in Arizona history?
It has the potential to be. It really depends on Mario Cristobal and what kind of a person he is. If at some point he goes, okay, we're just killing him, I got to call off the dogs, then no. But if he decides to keep pouring it on just cause, we could be in for a historic beatdown.
But don't you think, though, given the way college football is rated and ranked, these teams are rated and ranked, doesn't Oregon really have to put a really good whooping on Arizona just for style points?
I mean, they could do that and still not have the historical, ass kicking that we might see. That they could beat them by 40, 45 and do it pretty easily. This team, this U of A team, the way they struggled against NAU, I went back and watched the highlights of that game. I don't know what to make of them. I don't think that there's any room for them to improve either. I just think they've got to recruit and hopefully in the future try and get better because this is ugly.
All right, we got to break it down. The big game of the week. Jeffrey, you want to be on this one. The Buffaloes come rumbling into Arizona Sun Devil Stadium, Arizona State Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field, this Saturday night as the currently unranked Arizona State Sun Devils look to get right against the Buffaloes. What needs to happen here for Arizona State? Get the train moving down the road, and do the Sun Devils come out of here with a victory?
I'll tell you, show up. That's it.
They just have to show up against Colorado.
Yeah, make sure you don't get locked out of the locker room. Make sure that somebody doesn't get you drunk and kidnap you and put you into a storage container, and easy peasy. There you go.
All right, Keon, what's your thoughts as we preview this game?
I mean, I pretty much agree with that. Look, Brandon Lewis is the quarterback of Colorado. I like his potential. He's got an arm, and he's made some big time throws. But the issue is that he's been wildly inaccurate. And there's a lot there for the ASU defense to take advantage of, and a lot for them to do, because they had some blown coverages in that last game against BYU. And this is a get right game, I think, for this defense in particular. And then Jaden Daniels, I got to see him get going a little bit, because he's underachieved. We know what his skill set is and what his potential is. I want to see the full Jaden Daniels experience.
Deflated Balls says, damn, Keon knows his college football. Well, we told you he did. It's not like we made that up or something. Of course he knows his football. Hefty Lefty says, I'm calling it now. If Florida takes care of business this week, College Game Day will be going live from Georgia versus Florida, October 30th in Jacksonville. The largest cocktail party in the nation is going to be something right there. Okay, sounds good to me. Boogie says, wait, what? Is Keon taking Cal? Wow, I thought he was an intelligent college football fan. Evidently, he doesn't know the Pac-12 very well, does he?
Keon, are you going to take that?
I'll let everything I said stand. Okay. I don't.
Well, you got to bet with Moist One, and he says, I will buy you a box of Crunch Bars if you win. But if I win, you have to say, that was funny, Daddy, after every one of my texts.
Oh boy, I'm not agreeing to that at all. First off,
it's candy bar to candy bar. It's
let's do and one Crunch Bars, and I don't need a box of Crunch Bars tempting me in my house.
Yeah, and if we were going to do that was funny, Daddy thing, then that would be like just for a day. We would not allow that to happen to Keon long term. Just the Tip says, Randy, thank you for the Bemidji State Beaver nod. Pretty sure the country Bemidji Beavers would lay bedlam and misery over the Oregon Beavers.
I think you're right.
All this Beaver talk is making me wish we were done on the air already. Let's see. Just Tip says, Randy, I already read that. Navy Devil says, let's hope Oregon beats Arizona by like 100 points. You don't even have to hope.
In modern college football, when they start having that council of great football minds get together and pick out the playoff schedule, it all comes down to games. And if Oregon doesn't just absolutely thrash the U of A, I think it could go bad for them, and they might fall out of the top five because they didn't thrash them.
All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history, and probably not a whole lot much time for anything else. So, which means we'll probably get very distracted and not much will get done. It's Friday. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sun Devil football returns home to Tempe to kick off Pac-12 play against the Colorado Buffaloes Saturday, September 25th. The annual Sun Devil Club and Green game is set to kick off at 7:30 p.m. and is presented by MidFirst Bank. Sun Devil football is off to a hot start at home this season, so make sure to secure your seats today to help the Sun Devils keep the momentum going for this pivotal Pac-12 South matchup. Get your tickets at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-0904774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends who've used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now, you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com. Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool. Now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940. 623-875-9940. Or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Daily Blender and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the show may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Jeffrey O'Brien's mom.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You ever heard of Reese's Pumpkins? Or is that another bad sexual thing that Moist One just made me say?
I think I saw something on Reese's doing a pumpkin candy
we just can't
thing.
trust him. We can't trust the Moist One.
Yeah.
But he says he likes a Reese's Pumpkin. And then, of course, Keon says he would like a Crunch Bar. And so that's the bet. Once again, he is taking Texas A&M -2.5, or as I'm told, -2.5, not -2.5.
Good call. Good call.
I don't know anything about betting. I'm still learning.
He's taking Texas A&M -2.5. I'm taking Arkansas just to win outright.
The lock wants to take Notre Dame Prep -7 tonight at Brophy. We're not doing betting on high school.
All right, I marked it down.
Dropping the soap says, any bets on high school badminton? No, we're not taking any high school bets, period.
What game are you looking at?
Shut up, Brandon. We're not doing this.
Okay.
Big George says, I can confirm that Reese's Pumpkins do exist, and it's not a sexual thing. It will be by time Moist One is done. Hey, let's see here. Fed Fan says, yeah, it's just a Reese's shaped like a pumpkin. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Fed Fan. Appreciate that. Moist One says, no, it's fitting because most Arkansas residents pumpkin. Get it? Huh? So I knew it was going somewhere.
Yep. There had to be a reason. There were layers to this. There's always something with Moist One.
Because they pumpkin.
Something highly inappropriate, always up his sleeve. It's pretty clever. But
that's a pretty good joke. Yeah.
But also, wow.
Hefty Lefty sent me a picture of the pumpkin, not the kind that Moist One was talking about, but the Reese's peanut butter pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for that. Big George says the Mountain View Toros are playing the Mesa Jackrabbits tonight. Oh, talk about a age-old rivalry. Taking the Toros to cover the spread. And okay, stop with the betting lines. Just say what you say there. Screw Mesa High. Okay.
Got it, Big George.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, between the Mountain View Toros and Westwood Warriors, or the Dobson Losers, I can't remember that their mascot is anymore, and then Mesa High. Those were the three big ones. Those were the rivalries right there. Of course, Mountain View was a rivalry for a lot of other people, because they were just so good. Swave Dave says, have a great weekend. Bet the cards. Pour me a tall beer there, please, Randy.
Absolutely.
Hefty Lefty says, damn it, Big George beat me to that exact text. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, what are you dressing up for Halloween? And also the question goes for the other two guys there. I don't know. Haven't really been thinking about that. My wife had some ideas. So right now I am unsure that I hesitate to even say it out loud. So Keon, what are you going to go for Halloween?
I'm not sure either. I haven't really thought about it at all. I am leaning towards possibly Eric Killmonger from the Black Panther movie.
All right.
He's the bad guy in that movie.
I know that.
I don't know. I don't know how much Marvel you watch. I don't know.
I've watched the movie.
Okay.
Randy, what about you?
I'm going as a 59-year-old overweight man who doesn't dress up for Halloween.
You've committed to the part.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll probably go as 50-year-old man handing out candy to kids. One at a time, you fat little bastards. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I'll call them names. I don't care.
This candy doesn't grow on trees, damn it.
Mm-hmm. Next year, it's going to be toothbrushes if you're not careful.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. There were some ideas that my wife was throwing around, but I don't know. It always seems like a fun thing, like a fun idea. Hey, let's go dress up for Halloween. And then you get closer to it and you're like, oh, God, that's like work. I don't want to go through all that. And then why?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? It's going to get hot out there. Just, I don't know.
I understand.
I think I'm at a point in my life where I should have a standard Halloween costume that I just put in the closet, take out, put on, hand out candy, and then take it off, hang it up.
Every year's the same.
Yeah. The boy here had a like one of those little scary little hood things, and then it had like these red LED lights, so it made it look like you had demon eyes, like a big faceless, just a faceless void and little demon eyes poking out, kind of like a Jawa, but like murderous and scary.
Yeah,
I could do that for the rest of my life.
Why not?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like me first thing in the morning.
Another idea is turn off all the lights and make sure all the cars are in the garage and just do nothing.
Exactly. Watch a movie.
How's that for the spirit of Halloween? Just the tip says, I'll ask all fourth dimensioners to take 1 hour out of their life and please spend it listening to the race setup with Randy White.
Oh.
Randy and his intern there are very knowledgeable, and their guests are inner circle people, and you might just enjoy it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Unpaid intern is what you really remember. Just Tip says, by the way, when I moved to Mesa, there were only jackrabbits and warriors. Bleep the Warriors. My brother was a Toro when they opened up that school. Bleep him too. Okay, easy does it, buddy.
Wow. Strong.
Boomer Sooner. Well, now he just aged himself because Mountain View opened up, I believe, in 76, something like that. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, they actually make a family Halloween costume. You all slip on this black robe that has orange ribs and skull and everything, bones down to the leg, and you look like y'all look alike, and it glows the Halloween lights, and go on Amazon. How about you email me a link, because your description was kind of crazy there, and I don't a whole family costume. I don't know. I see a family on a tandem bike, the dad, the mom, a couple kids, and maybe a little bit. I just want to run it over. It's annoying to me, So I don't know if I'm going to want to do a family Halloween costume. And
the red LED light demon mask is looking better and better for you, Jeff.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm going to live, right there. Swave Dave says, I'm going to be a grumpy old guy for Halloween. Get off my lawn.
Yep.
No costume needed here.
Yeah.
Fed Fan says, I think Halloween's on a Sunday this year. Usually not a lot of trick-or-treaters. Oh, yeah. I'm over here in Queen Creek, the hot spot of the COVID and Mormons. So I don't think they're... Hey, if you're a Mormon and you're listening, can you tell, do you guys trick-or-treat on the Sunday? If it is on a Sunday, or is it like a no thing? I don't know. I'm honestly asking you, my friends. The Hefty Lefty says, last year my fiance and I were Forrest Gump and Jenny. It was the first time I actually dressed as a character with my same name. Only took me 30 years to get to do it. I'd like to see some pictures of that. I want to see how closely. Hefty Lefty's a big buff guy. I don't know how he would have pulled off Forrest Gump. Moist One says, I'm going as Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure I'm sorry for having said that out loud. Big George says, yep, Mountain View High School opened in 1976 as the third public high school in the city of Mesa behind Mesa High and Westwood. That's right. Okay. And they've kicked ass ever since. Good Cat says, what about betting on high school synchronized swimming? How about that? I think that's the kind of thing you just do as you're sitting in the stands. You know, I don't think you would actually want to place money on that. Any bets on the Diamondbacks, with the Dodgers against?
I'll take the under.
Yeah. All right. Now with that horrible note, Rough Rob, thank you very little. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1938, John Donald Budge, a tall, red-headed ginger kid from Oakland, California, became the first player in tennis history to win all 4 of the world's major tennis titles in the same year, when he defeated Gene Mako of Los Angeles in the final round of the U.S. Open. That's right, tennis for FedFan. Yeah, wow. And by the way, Budge remains the only American man to do that. In 1942, though, he joined the U.S. Army Air Force, fought in World War II, back when the Air Force was badass. Nowadays, anyway.
Easy.
And he fought for 3 years in World War II. In fact, during the war, he tore a muscle in his shoulder, never fully healed, and that ended his tennis career. Can you imagine what it might have been?
Yeah, no kidding.
After what he did. So there you go. On this day in Big Georgia sports history, and seems like Fed fans should be thrilled about that.
Yeah, I would think so.
And she is. She says, "Yeah, thank you, Big George." And by the way, this Brian is the dude the feds are looking for in Florida who killed the blonde girl. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, his girlfriend's missing. I just looked, I Googled it and I was like, I don't know if I want to bring it up. But don't go as him, please.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope they get him and I hope they do horrible things to him. And you know what also needs to happen? I think we need to start reporting when everybody's missing, not just blonde little white girls. I think maybe that should be a thing. And also, here's another thing. Parents, men, women alike, teach your sons to not be a-holes when it comes to how they deal with women. No is an answer, and being abusive and horrible, it should never be an acceptable thing. And you need to make sure that your kids are not turning into that kid. That's what we really need to be talking about right now. And yeah, let's report on people who are missing equally. I think that might be a good thing for our society. 888-368-1580. Bruno Baller says, I miss Big George's old-timey sports history. Yeah, it just seemed like, for a while we were doing, because he sends me a bunch of stuff. And I don't know. I don't know. I felt like I was annoying people doing the old-timey sports history voice. Did you think that, Randy, maybe was a little annoying?
What's the old-timey sports history voice?
Well, I don't know.
I thought it was spot on, by the way.
Well, it's a little bit different kind of a read.
Yeah.
On this date in Big George's old-timey sports history. It's more like that.
Okay, I got you.
And I guess I was annoying myself. So I figured if I'm annoying me,
can you imagine?
I am probably annoying other people. That is my guess on that. Sparty Nation says, goosebumps, Jeffrey. I don't think it was about the old-timey sports history thing. Boomer Sooner says, great message, Jeffrey. Thank you for that. Moist One says, if I was him, I'd listen to, I'm just, you know what? You're in a timeout. You're in a timeout, Moist One. Deflated Balls says, yeah, I want more old-timey sports history. All right. If you guys want it, I'll start doing it again. As long as
there
I'm
you
not,
go. Yeah.
Just the Tip says, Air Force not badass. Ease up, Jeffrey, my friend. All military forces are badass. Let them fight amongst themselves. We'll celebrate all of them. Oh, no, of course. I thank anybody for their service, but Chief was in the Air Force, and all I can think is, well, if he made it out alive, it can't be that tough, you know? I just tease. Moist one, no, not you. Big George, thank you very much. He says, hey, by the way, what junior high did you go to, Jeffrey? He says, I'm a product of Poston Junior High. Well, actually, I when I first got here to Arizona in 1984, I went to Gilbert first. I was at Gilbert Junior High and Gilbert High School for a minute. And then my family moved to a place up north in North Mesa. Then I was a Mountain View Toro. So my entire high school experience really is Mountain View. But for like a semester, we were still in the Gilbert area. I still got friends in both places. And yeah, there you go. Go Gilbert Tigers. I'm always happy to see those guys do well. Mars 805 says, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Go Raiders, and let's drink 805. I have a feeling Mars 805 works for that company. Feel like we're doing free advertising.
Could be.
Possibly.
Could be. Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, well, Jeffrey, I guess I'm a little different. I was more entertained than annoyed by Big George's whole time, old-time sports history there. Well, you're not different. Seems like... I was more entertained than annoyed. Yeah, so I guess it's another vote for the old-timey sports history. I can't believe this is happening. Just Tip, Fremont Junior High rules. Okay, guys, we're not going to... Where'd you go to junior high, Randy?
Desert Sands Junior High School.
Woo! Keon?
Frank Tejeda Middle School.
Who the hell is Frank Tejeda?
A guy that people know in San Antonio that no one would know here.
So you see why this is not going to work, peoples? That's why that's not going to work. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great weekend. We'll get back in your radios on Monday, 2 p.m. That's right. Monday Night Football Monday. We'll see you guys. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with the